commentary option of the evening. Aberdeen against Rangers is an 8 o'clock start at Pittodrie. Full commentary on Radio Scotland Extra, online and digital, coming up right now with Willie Miller and Liam McLeod.
Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
And a very good evening to you from Pittodrie Stadium. Aberdeen against Rangers will be with us very, very shortly. The teams will be assembling in the tunnel as we speak, as the smoke billows across the pitch here. The pyrotechnics going off in the red shed, the Merkland Road end off to our right. There are fireworks going off outside the stadium as well, and there's going to be flamethrowers which are already being warmed up over on the south stand side as well to welcome both sets of players here. And this is just such a massive fixture ordinarily in Scottish football, but with Aberdeen flying high and eyeing up a 9-point gap with Rangers by the close of business tonight, it's a game you feel Philippe Clement's side cannot afford to lose. But they're coming into the Lions' Den here. How will they be able to deal with it? A team that's struggled away from home this season, perhaps haven't had the best of performances at Ibrox and at Hampden this term, but they've been sorting out visiting sides who have come to their own stadium, but on the road in the league, my goodness, just the one goal scored. Tom Lawrence got it at Tannadice in the 1-0 win over Dundee United, as these two go head to head for the first time this season. Referee John Beaton leading the teams out from the tunnel off to our left and out onto the pitch. 4 times they met last term, 3 in the league, once in the League Cup final. Rangers won that one, and it was even in the Premiership with both winning once and the other drawn. Rangers have only lost 2 of the last 20 meetings, 17 of those have come in the Premiership, but they're up against a team that's made their best start to a league season since 1971 when Jimmy Bonthrone was the manager. His team won 8 and drew 1 of the first 9. An unbeaten run that continued till their 13th game when they lost to Hearts here. The Dons also achieved what they've done this term in 35-36. So if they win this one, it will mark their best ever start to a league campaign, which is absolutely incredible given there was a changing of the guard in the summer with Yemi Tellin coming in. But Philippe Clement has had his troubles, but if they can win this one, it will do them all kinds of good in the weeks and months to come, with both sides in League Cup semi-final action against Celtic and Motherwell respectively at the weekend. If you missed the teams earlier for Aberdeen, one change, Shinnie in for Palaversa, the skipper returns, Mitov in goal, Devlin, Rubetic, Malloy and McKenzie, Shinnie and Nielsen, Keskin and McGrath, Duke, Sockler leads the line, Nisbet's not ready yet, not in the matchday squad. 5 alterations for Rangers, their captain comes back in, James Tavernier, Suter, McCausland, Lawrence and Dessers also into the side, with Jefte, Proper, Diamonde and Egeman dropping to the bench. Václav Černý out altogether with a slight muscle injury, we are hearing. May well be back for the weekend. Well, it was quite the show there. You probably heard the firecrackers, fireworks going off in the background there from the official pyrotechnics here at Pittodrie. Willie Miller, I have to say, I know there was a show, I think it was the St Mirren game this season. That is probably the most spectacular pre-match show I've seen here.
I would say so, yeah. It was something special, you know, just to get the atmosphere going, although the atmosphere was well on the road to be electric before the pyrotechnic show. But yeah, all adds to the kind of a sense of this is something important tonight. This is really, you know, where the Aberdeen fans will enjoy if Aberdeen can get the victory against Rangers. You know, the kind of a the competition, I would say, that the Aberdeen fans have to see who can dislike the Rangers team the most. But it's about football, it's about the game this evening, isn't it? It's about who is going to be the best team. Aberdeen's certainly in form, yeah. Rangers not.
Well, let's find out. Aberdeen are going to kick off. Unusually for them, they're going to go right to left in the first half towards the beach end in the all red and white flashes. Rangers in one of their change colours, the dark blue red flashes. They line up with Butland in goal, Tavernier, Suter, Balogun, Casemiro, Barron and Raskin, McCausland, Lawrence, Bayrami and Dessers leading the line. The game is underway and it's shifted back to Slobodan Rubetic, who finds Shinnie under pressure from Lawrence. Goes back to Mitov, he's got time to take a touch at the right angle of his 6-yard box. He launches it forward down the right hand side. So Rangers have obviously turned Aberdeen at the start of this game. Aberdeen normally like to shoot towards the Richard Donald stand in the second half. Rangers will be shooting down into the half where the visiting supporters are bunched in over in the south stand on the far side as Malloy wins a header ahead of McCausland. Barron gets his first field touch of the ball against his former team, gets it forward to Lawrence, then Barron again out wide left now. Chance to have a go at goal in the end there by Rami. It is blocked. He loves an early goal, of course, and Aberdeen scoop the ball clear up towards the halfway line. It's going to be very interesting to see who starts the better in this game. Rangers have been criticised for some pedestrian performances of late, including their win over St Mirren at Ibrox at the weekend. And we'll keep you up to date with what's going on elsewhere. Benji Kimpioka giving St Johnstone the lead in Paisley against St Mirren in the early stages, relatively early stages of that one. It's goalless everywhere else as that long ball comes up towards the Aberdeen box. Rubidzic with a touch with the header finds Malloy, who sweeps it clear up to Duke. Lovely spin away from Tavernier. Then McGrath gets it back into the path of Duke, who is charging forward. Barron with a slide challenge. The ref's happy with it. Anything Connor Barron does tonight will be under the microscope as the offside flag goes up against Rangers as they look to attack in behind the Aberdeen defence there. Nielsen takes the quick free kick. The ref's not ready. 0-0. We are almost at the end of the second minute.
It's no free kick. John Beaton's absolutely correct. Duke goes down, there's no contact whatsoever. Barron is close to him. You know, it's a lovely move though, between him and Jamie McGrath, you know, but he had lost control of it. I think Barron and I think it was Tavernier that was going to come out as well, and he went down to ground. He's just wish he could get that out of his game. He doesn't need it. He's a very good player. He's one that can turn games, but to go down as early as that, referee right on the spot got it 100% correct.
Yeah, he went down there though. You heard in the background this time he does get the free kick. It's Shinnie picking up midway inside his own half, back to Rubidzic. He goes back to Mitov. Another clean sheet for Dimitar Mitov here at the weekend in the late victory over Dundee United. As Rubidzic takes it for a run down the right hand side, it's going to be a ball into the midfield. It's poor. He gives it straight to Raskin, who dinks it forward looking for Dessers, when it comes all the way through here to Mitov, who holds on. Cyril Dessers is going to be desperate to get on the score sheet tonight. He's going through his longest drought in front of goal since joining the club, 7 without one. As Malloy knocks it forward, he's not going to be able to find Sockler. He'll chase anyway. Butland comes to the edge of his box and clears first time, and Dessers controls. He's done really well there. Knocks it out wide right for McCausland, takes it infield against Malloy, shifts it to Dessers. He's inside the box, left foot chance here. Dessers shot's blocked. Nielsen takes over and slips it calmly out of the penalty area to Shinnie, who's brought crashing to the ground by Bayrami. And Aberdeen have a free kick. What an opportunity that was for Cyril Dessers.
Yeah, without doubt, a really good move from Rangers as well. And Dessers, he actually started the move. Really good touch outside of the box, and he just doesn't catch it, does he? I think it's Malloy, is it, that's sliding in? No, it's Niggy Devlin with that sliding block once again that actually gets a block on it. But Dessers got to hit it better with his left foot. It's an angle, absolutely, but you know, and the work up to it was excellent. Starts a move, plays a little 1-2. McCausland puts it into his path, takes a little touch by the defender, and then the shot is weak.
Aberdeen fans weren't happy because their team wanted to get the game underway quickly, but there was a VAR check underway which was going on in the background for a possible penalty for handballing. It's Nicky Devlin who made the block. Oh, clear though, as that long ball from Butland goes straight into touch for an Aberdeen throw-in. Level with the edge of the centre circle. It is Mackenzie to Nielsen, who's been caught there by Tom Lawrence. Free kick Aberdeen. They're keen to get it taken quickly again here. It's about 6 yards inside the Rangers half. Jack Mackenzie eventually slips it through to McGrath, who'd gone into an offside position. That will be a free kick to Rangers. 0-0. Still in the very early exchanges of this one. Aberdeen enjoying this spectacular start to life under Jimmy Tellene. Their last 5 league games actually have been by a single goal. It's not like they're blowing teams away, but they've just found ways to win different kinds of football matches. It's a good trait for them to have, for any team to have, as Rangers come down the left hand side. Long ball forward, Malloy gets it clear first time onto the chest of Graham Shinnie. It's a long one looking for Duke. Underneath it there is the Aberdeen-born Suter. You don't really need me to tell you when Conor Barron has the ball, and you don't need me to tell you when he's had a poor touch that's put it straight out for an Aberdeen throw-in, which is exactly what's happened in front of us here, Willie.
I think he'll be expecting that though, Conor Barron. I know exactly what's coming his way. If not, I'm sure Ryan Jack could tell him exactly what will be coming his way.
There's Duke down the left of the Rangers box. He's into it now, down towards the byline, pulls it back, blocked and out for Aberdeen's, indeed the game's, first corner kick. Comes to the home team as it comes off Barron. And Aberdeen have a corner down in front of the Pittodrie tunnel off to our left.
Now they've got that directness in Duke and Keskinen in the flanks, and they've got good pace there as well. And you know, Duke hitting the byline, but Conor Barron did really well, covering for his defender there, getting in and getting the block. First corner, Aberdeen.
My goodness, 2-0 to St Johnstone by the looks of this in Paisley. Aberdeen corner, McGrath's over it. The ref is just having a word with a couple of players. There's somebody standing, it's Duke right in front of Jack Butland. And the referee having a word with the Aberdeen number 11. McGrath's got a short option in Keskinen, who was hooked at half-time here against Dundee United, was the Finn. Second biggest transfer fee outlaid by Aberdeen to bring Keskinen to the club. McGrath takes it short to him. McCausland out to meet him. Keskinen down the byline he goes, gets the ball into the area. It's going to be cleared there by Rami. Rangers struggling to get it away to safety. They've done eventually as Lawrence chases it down the left, so too does Devlin. He pinches it off Lawrence and puts it out for a Rangers throw-in over on that far side. The Rangers left as they attack the goal to our right, the red shed Merton Road end. It's nothing each in the early exchanges. Willie, who settled fastest?
Lively start, isn't it? You know, Rangers coming here with a lot of intent to take the game to Aberdeen. Aberdeen at times just soaking it up and looking to hit in the counter.
Tavernier's ball to the edge of the Aberdeen box from the right, headed away by Malloy. McKenzie completes the clearance up towards halfway. Sockler wins the header ahead of Suter, and it's picked up by McGrath wide on the left hand side. Balogun comes to meet him. McGrath's early cross is cut out by the Nigerian and out for an Aberdeen throw-in level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box. Pulls it there to Duke, he goes down, no foul. Rangers have it with Raskin poking it forward towards Dessers. Malloy all over him. Dessers goes all the way back to the edge of his box for Suter, who clips the ball into the midfield. It's a clever ball too for that left-hand side. Casemiro is driving down that far side. It's with Bayrami in support. It's with Bayrami. He's level with the 18-yard line. Finds Casemiro. Pulls it back low towards the penalty spot. Malloy takes a touch, and now Shinnie being pestered here by Dessers. Just brushes him off in the end. Dessers wanted McCausland to help him out. He didn't. And now it's passed out to Duke on this near side. Duke under pressure from Tavernier, hooks it into the midfield. Sockler gets the flick onto it, but it's going to come right through to Balogun. That second St Johnstone goal, incidentally, was disallowed, so they still lead 1-0 thanks to that early Kimpioka goal, and that's the only one in the Premiership so far. Barron forward to Bayrami, just slips through Bayrami and ends up with Keskinen, who rolls it back to his goalkeeper. Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0.
I think we're in for a fast attacking game here tonight. It looks as though both sets of players, both teams are intent on getting the ball forward as early as possible. Rangers, I think, have started probably the better side, but it is early and Aberdeen on the attack.
Up and under from McGrath. Sockler chasing it, trying to get in behind Balogun. Sockler gets the touch. Balogun's gone to ground. Sockler's in, he can pull it back to McGrath. It's blocked. What a chance missed by Aberdeen. Duke puts it back in. It's blocked on the 6-yard line. Rangers clear. Huge opportunity. The best of the game so far comes to the hosts. McGrath has it at the edge of the box again. Rolls it to Devlin. Shoots. Oh, it's just wide. He Keskinen to his right there as well, but he pulls it wide of the left-hand post, and it stays Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0.
I think Jamie McGrath's got to score with that one, has he not? I mean, it's really good work by Sockler down the right-hand side, taking Balogun on and winning possession and setting McGrath up. Listen, it's a good block there. I think it's James Tavernier that gets himself in the way of it, but for me, I think he could even take a touch. Didn't have to take a touch, but he's got to find a kind of a barren part of the net there and make it 1-0 to Aberdeen. Best chance of the game, undoubtedly. Sockler setting it up, and McGrath, for me, should have scored.
Heavy touch there by Malloy. He's gone in and McCausland. Rangers have it back. It's Barron. Slips it into his left for Lawrence. His pass forward's cut out by Shinnie. Rangers win it back with Bayrami on the far side. toes it back to Raskin and out to the left for Casimiro on loan from Feyenoord. Here's Barron right at the centre circle, and he rolls it back into the circle for Balogun, and then Suter, and then Barron, who's receiving the Davy Robertson, Stephen Wright, Ryan Jack treatment here tonight. And as Tavernier picks up on the right, rolls it to the edge of the D. It's a decent snapshot there by Lawrence, which Mitov made look pretty comfortable in the end as Lawrence looked for that top left corner. We're in the 11th minute, it's 0-0, but both teams having opportunities, and Rangers delighted to have Tom Lawrence back in the side. He missed the game at the weekend. He's looked like the kind of player that they'd hoped he would be when he joined the club a couple of years ago, as Raskin fouls McGrath on this near side. It's got the usual fire to it, this game.
Yeah, the fans are on edge, aren't they? And of course, any challenge, any tackle coming for a Rangers player is going to get the same treatment, where the referees, I think, you know, for the benefit of the game, has got to be strong. You know, he's got to play the game and play the tackles how he sees it. You know, the fans can get all excited about it, but the referee's got a very important job to do out there. I think just let him get on with it.
The Maswinise goal, his Motherwell 1-0 up down the road from here at Tannadice against Dundee United. Aberdeen have a throw in, it's bowled into Keskinen, still they play on. Sockler at the byline, pulls it across, no takers. Huge chance again though, and it will drop out to this near side for McCausland to rifle it forward on the clearance. Desser's first time back to Suter, who finds Tavernier, and now back with Butland. Good little couple of minutes this for the home team. They've not been able to get the goal that they are hoping to notch, get the first goal in the game. Don't want Rangers getting the first one, something to hang on to. It's a lovely little touch by Keskin and dragged it back to the back heel for Sockler, and Sockler's probably entitled to think somebody should be popping that into the net from there.
Yeah, I think the problem was that Duke and McGrath made the same run to the near post. If Duke had just stayed out towards the back, I think he would have been able to read that and allow McGrath to hit that front post. That would be the natural kind of a thought I would think that the winger should have had, just to stay out of it. He could have he sees McGrath making a run, let him make the run to the near post. Then you've got two options, and Sockler did really well again. He's terrorising Rangers down that right hand side. A good pass across the face of the goal, and if Duke had just stayed at the back post, I think it would be an easy tap-in.
Well, we're just keeping an eye on a couple of things. John Beaton getting his communication device sorted, that seems to have been fixed, but will Gavin Malloy be okay to continue? Seems to have injured himself after a poor touch. It meant he had to go in for a pretty last-ditch challenge on Ross McCausland, and he appears to have feeling the full force of it. So Aberdeen will hope that he's going to be able to continue here. He's walking pretty gingerly off the pitch just now. Doesn't look like there's any sign of a replacement, though. Jack Milne's going to wait for a little warm-up just in case he's going to be required, but it looks like Gavin Malloy is going to be able to continue, will he?
I thought he was fortunate to get away with it. You know, it was a heavy touch, and then he's lunged in on McCausland and he's caught the Rangers player and he's hurt himself. I think he'll be okay though. I think a little bit of theatrics, kind of a what was called for, just to make sure that the referee didn't take. I don't think he took any. You know, he didn't make any decision to book him anyway. So I think he was lucky to get off with that.
Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0 here at Pittodrie. Almost on 14. Long ball for Rangers. Malloy clears. McKenzie with a touch. McCausland gets onto it though. Forces it back to Raskin. It's now Barron forward towards Desser, wrestling with Rubezic. It's the Aberdeen defender that comes out on top. Malloy comes back on, and his first touch is to put it back to his goalkeeper, but then Dessers has gone in, and Rubezic just after that. Now this after I mentioned they'd been wrestling at the edge of the Aberdeen box, and the ref wants to come and speak to the Rangers number 9.
He was a little bit annoyed. That Rubezic had dragged him to the ground. To be honest, I thought there was contact, and I thought the Rangers striker had a good case, but it's no case for defence and going to the back of Rubezic and pushing him in the back. The referee having a word with Rubezic as well. I wonder why he has a word with him, because the only reason I can think is that he did feel that something went on prior to Dessers having a go at the centre half.
Aberdeen have it with Keskinen right of the centre circle. He's got support from Sockler. Keskinen has it right central area, drifts along, switch of play out towards Duke. Easy header, one there by Tavernier though, and he heads it out for a throw in on this near side. James Tavernier, he scored more goals against Aberdeen than anyone else, 14 of them. Many of them have come from the penalty spot. He's got a fabulous record against tonight's opponents. Rangers side, it's won its last 2 after the defeat at Kilmarnock. They've won 3 of their last 4. As Nielsen picks up on the near side, challenged by Barron. It's come off Barron last, says the referee, and there will be an Aberdeen throw-in down here. And Barron, well, he doesn't have to do much to annoy the Aberdeen supporters tonight. He allowed his contract to run down before making the move in the summer. I think the tribunal's still not sorted the training fee that Rangers are due as yet, as Barron picks up good footwork from him, slides it through towards Lawrence. Good defending there by Malloy, though. He meets it, and Suter, long ball forward, comes right through to Mitov, who'll hold on. It's Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0, almost on 16. There's been a vibrance about Rangers tonight that there certainly wasn't at the weekend. They played well against Steaua Bucharest last Thursday night, the team formerly known as that in the Europa League. It wasn't a great test for them as Keskinen spins Casemiro and drives up towards the Rangers penalty area. He's forced back the way, rolls it low, looking for McGrath, cut out really importantly by Tavernier, and the referee's blown because Rangers have a man down inside the Aberdeen half when Aberdeen were at the edge of the Rangers box. Now, if it's a head knock, then fair enough.
It definitely was a head knock.
Well, the game has to stop then, doesn't it?
Sokolow's down as well. If you can see Sokolow, he got it in the back of the head. I'm not too sure who it is from a Rangers point of view that went into him, but you know, you could see it.
That's Balogun.
Balogun. You know, Balogun's actually, Sokolow's headed it and got the flick on, so the referee plays advantage. Balogun comes into the back of his head and takes it in the forehead, goes down, and he was down very early and stayed down. I think you've got to protect the players. You've got to blow the whistle. The referee did allow it to go for a while, but you know, I think you could see over his shoulder that the Rangers player was suffering a bit.
1-1 in Paisley. Scott Tanser has equalised for St Mirren against St Johnstone, who'd led through Kimpioka. So goalless here, still goalless at Celtic Park. Dundee, who haven't won there since 2001. 43 meetings at Tannadice. Dundee United 0, Motherwell 1. That Maswanise goal. Goalless at Tynecastle, in Dingwall, Ross County Hibs, as it is here, and as I said, 1-1 now in Paisley. Still treatment being given to Leon Balogun here, the Rangers, experienced Rangers centre back. Just having a look at the Rangers bench. Obviously Robin Proper's on there. The other Rangers subs this evening: Kelly the sub goalie, Diamonde, Dowell, Sterling, Jeff Eganman, Hadji, Lovelace, Aberdeen have Doohan in goal. On the bench, Clarkson, McGarry, Bazowen, Palaversa, Morris, Milne, McDonald and Ambrose. I just wonder if Robin Proper will be required here. Balogun being helped back to his feet. Aberdeen had a problem with one of their centre backs and Gavin Malloy a few minutes ago, and Balogun in the wars there with that challenge with Sockler just at the edge of the centre circle in the Aberdeen half. It was quite high up the pitch, actually.
It was in the Aberdeen half, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When he went for the challenge, I didn't think he had to go. You know, I think if you just kind of take a moment to think about the situation. Someone getting spoken to in the touchline as well by the referee, or is he still having communication problems? Not sure.
Yellow card.
A yellow card. Something must have been said, perhaps.
Well, it's Emir Bayrami, the Aberdeen assistant manager, former Sweden international. He's been yellow carded. He's shaking his head at John Beaton, and there will be a bounce ball here. John Beaton, as I said, he stopped play when Aberdeen were in the attacking third there, and James Tavernier and Jamie McGrath are talking to the ref, and he's pointing out Aberdeen were in possession, so it has to be an uncontested bounce in Aberdeen's favour. It is 0-0, 19 and a half. They lost a couple of minutes there, so that'll be added on at the end. Balogun comes back on. Rangers back to their full complement immediately as Rubezic rolls it to the right of the circle for Shinnie. Shinnie looks up. It's a long left foot raking pass, switching out towards Duke. Tavernier wins it in the air and it goes out for a throw-in to the home team, level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box on the main stand side, the Aberdeen left, as they attack the goal to the left in this first half. A goalless first half that is just about a quarter of the way through the match, halfway through the first half. It's McKenzie who picks up into the box for Duke. Back to McKenzie. Now Shinnie's at the edge of the box. Twists away, it goes down. John Beaton has had a look at it and he's given Aberdeen the free kick. It's left the centre, and it is potentially the same bit of grass from where James Maddison scored the winner against Rangers here back in 2016, which until Scales and Mijovski pitched up a couple of seasons ago to win the game 2-0 for Aberdeen was the previous time they'd beaten Rangers here. Actually got a better winning record, bizarrely, against them at Ibrox in recent times. But Willie, this is a chance. What's this, about 25 yards from goal?
Yeah, and I remember that goal well. You know, as an opportunity, Duke looking over it, but I think Jamie McGrath fancies the opportunity to get Butland tested, but it is a really good distance out as well. You know, for him to get it over the wall and get a little bit of dip on it as well.
He's got 3 goals this season. He's one of the leading assisters in the Scottish Premiership this season. Jamie McGrath, he's the only candidate. 3-man Rangers wall. McGrath with the right foot, blast for goal. It's not that far away either, past that left-hand post. It stays though. Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0 on 21.
Good effort though, you know, and that kind of a distance, you know, it does give you the opportunity to make it dip, and it, you know, it does dip. If it would have been on target, it would have ended up in the top corner. But I think Butland had it well covered though, didn't he? Made his move early, used his feet well. But good effort from Jamie McGrath.
Duke's touch in field on the halfway line for McGrath. Rangers win it back. McCausland driving forward, bounces off McKenzie and out for a Rangers throw-in, which Tavernier is over. Just the 1 goal so far for James Tavernier.
He's having a bad season.
Yeah, well, he's been their top scorer a couple of the campaigns, including last year's Tavernier's long ball into the Aberdeen box, half away by Rubidzic, sliced into there by McCausland. It will drop down at Desser's feet, but Devlin does enough to put him off. Shinnie forward towards Keskinen, battling over on the right hand side, get just through the legs there of Casinguero, but it drops to Lawrence, back out wide left and out for a Rangers throw, and it goes south stand side. Bowled back there by Nedim Bayrami and into the centre circle for Suter. Side football forward to McCausland, little flick was straight to Shinnie. Now it's McGrath who's fouled by McCausland. That's going to be an Aberdeen free kick, and it's going to be a yellow card for the Rangers winger, the Northern Irishman. And it's Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0, yellow for McCausland.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to think a little bit more about the game. He just barges right into the back of Jamie McGrath. Could have hurt it. Could have hurt Jamie McGrath as well. He fell a little bit awkward. I think it looked as though perhaps he caught his ankle, but he's up, he's okay, and he's heading up to support Sokler.
First booking of the game. Be the first of many, you would have thought. Nielsen, right foot from the free kick, low to his left for Malloy, forward towards Duke, who has it the left angle of the Rangers box, out, eases it wide left for McKenzie, gets his cross in, Sokler can't get in the end of it, and it drops out to the far side for Casinguero, who can clear with the left. Rubidzic wins the header on the halfway line, bouncing ball, Tom Lawrence on the far side, fouled by Shinnie, free kick Rangers.
That was a great cross, wasn't it, from Jack McKenzie? It didn't look as though he could have you know, got the power on it from where he was. He had to dig it out wide in the left hand side. No takers at the end of the day. Sokler not too far away from it, but McKenzie, who's having an impressive season, once again getting down that left side and putting in a decent cross.
Rangers have it wide on the left, and it is Bayrami rolling it back into his own half for Balogun. Now with Suter. Pretty even affair so far. Suter out to Tavernier wide on the right. It's the cross into the Aberdeen box, only half away by Malloy. It's Lawrence inside the area, 3 or 4 Aberdeen players around him, but he passes it back out and straight to Duke. Tavernier with a challenge, Duke trying to win it back. Tavernier holds him off, back into his own half for Suter. Jimmy Tallien is telling Duke to get back to his feet, no free kick coming. It's Lawrence clipping it into the penalty area, goes over the head of Malloy, but bounces right through to Meekov. Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0, 24 played.
Yeah, I think the manager's got a point. You know, I think Duke again going down way too easily. You know, it was a competitive duel with Tavernier, but there wasn't enough in it for Duke to go down the way. And Duke's a very strong player as well. If he wants to stay on his feet, he could.
Rangers have it in the midfield with Raskin, who finds Tavernier, back to Suter and then out to Barron, forward to Tavernier, gives it back to Connor Barron on this near side, to Tavernier and then all the way back to Balogun. Barron's move to Rangers kind of followed a similar trajectory to Ryan Jack's one, didn't it? Just there was all the speculation for months really before it elapsed, and then eventually he was paraded as a Rangers player, and the Aberdeen supporters will not be forgiving him anytime soon for that. But he's on the ball again, out to McCausland, wide in the right, taking on McKenzie, finds Barron, back to McCausland at the right angle in the box. McCausland gets the break of the ball, shoots it goal with the left, brilliant slide block there by McKenzie. Raskin back out to Barron, wide in the right, bends the cross in, away by Rubidic, who clears it up towards the halfway line, and Suter keeps it in play right in front of the two managers who are at the edge of their technical areas. 25 and a half played, Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0. The other games will be heading towards the half-time interval, and kicked off at 7:45. Dundee United level through Sam Dolby, incidentally, 1-1 after the Masmanisi opener. One apiece at Tannadice. It's Rangers on the ball. McCausland gives it straight to Duke though, and Duke on this near side waits until Shinnie was in a better position and finds him down the left. Infield to McGrath, looking for Sockler in behind Balogun. Sockler gets there, Balogun with a slight challenge. Is the ref happy enough with it? He is. He's happy with the tackle. And it comes right through to Butland. Willie Miller not so sure.
I'm not 100% sure. Didn't get a great view of it from where we're sitting.
Sockler's gone in on goal, Willie.
Yeah, but did he get the touch? Did Balogun get the touch before? If he did, then he's going to get off with it. If he didn't, and he's taken Sockler out. It's another magnificent pass from Jamie McGrath though, isn't it? In behind, very similar to the one that he set Sockler at Celtic Park. I'm sure they will check that. If he gets a touch, he gets away with it. If he doesn't, he's taking the player out and he's in goal.
My initial thought was there was a slight touch on it, and I think the VAR is happy with it as Barron knocks it forward for Rangers. Shinnie trying to win it back in the midfield. He's brought down by Lawrence. Free kick and a yellow card for Esther Sockler because he's gone on and on about the Balogun challenge just a moment ago. Will he hopefully be able to see a replay of that any moment now? It is goalless. Willie's getting a chance.
Oh, no.
Okay. There is a touch. It's a slight touch.
I'm not sure if he touches it first. I think Sockler gets a touch on it first and it takes it into Balogun. I think that's one of these ones that's debatable, to be honest. But they've had a look at it, they've had a good look at it, and there's nothing further being done. It was a magnificent pass, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Sockler on the shoulder again. I think he's been watching videos of Majowski actually in recent weeks, because he's just played in the shoulder of Balogun there. The ball in behind was superb. He's almost onto it. I think there is a little touch. I'm just not sure if he gets a touch first or not, and how that actually works into the rules.
Well, there's only one winner in a foot race between Leon Balogun and Esther Sockler. And John Beaton, Sockler's going to have to be careful. He's just been booked and he's still having to be spoken to by the referee. And this could be a final warning for Esther Sockler. I mean, the moment's gone, Willie, whether it's the right or wrong decision. There's no point labouring it because the decision's been made, it's game on, and it stays 0-0.
Yeah, you've just got to go on with it now, particularly after the booking. Once you get that yellow card, then you're walking in eggshells, aren't you? Even if you're a striker, you don't want to be putting yourself into a position where you're upsetting the referee, and the next one you're going to get that second yellow.
Balogun forward to Bayrami, out to the left hand side, Casemiro. Bayrami gets it back but loses out to Shinnie. Nielsen finds Duke. Tavernier on this near side trying to cover. McKenzie getting up in support. Duke trying to go round Tavernier, turns and twists, but Tavernier wins it back on this near side. Can't keep it, he can keep it in play, but only to McKenzie's benefit. McKenzie into Shinnie, now it's McGrath, looks up at the Rangers goal, thought about the shot, passes to Keskinen instead. Heavy touch, and that allows Tavernier to clear. Bayrami looking to pick it up wide on the right. Devlin beats him to it. Now Nicky Devlin driving down towards the byline, goes down. Is that inside the box? Well, it doesn't matter because the officials don't think it was a foul, and Rangers pick up with Bayrami on that far side. Down the line to Barron, infield to Bayrami, and then back to the edge of his own box for Balogun. 29 played, Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0. You didn't think it was going to be a quiet night in a library, did you?
Without doubt, it's been high tempo, isn't it? There's been a lot of action out of there, a lot of contact. That one, it was, I think that they're putting it down shoulder to shoulder, really, the challenge. But it's been a good game of football. Listen, it's competitive, isn't it? That's what you're wanting to see. A good, competitive, hard-fought game with, a bit of good football in between. We haven't seen, that much in terms of silky soccer, but at the same time, it's kept your attention, hasn't it?
Yeah, neither goalkeeper's really been tested so far, albeit Aberdeen have had 2 really good opportunities. Rubezic picks up, comes up towards the halfway line, into the Rangers half, fires it forward, too much on the pass for Sockler to control, and away by Suter. Good decisive header by Nielsen as the long ball came forward. McGrath out wide left for Duke, up against Tavernier again. Tavernier trying to stand his ground. Duke was too strong for him, left hand side of the box. What a battle that is. He's found McGrath inside the box and his efforts blocked by Suter, and behind it goes for the corner. Real impetus about Aberdeen here right now. 31 minutes, or 31st minute we're in, it's 0-0.
Yeah,
it's just a throw-in, not a corner, incidentally.
Yeah, but you know, Duke can do that. He's strong. He can hold off defenders. He should be doing it more often.
Mackenzie wide on the left, turns away from Raskin. Chipped, delicate ball in, the header, and then Devlin in the back post fires it home. Aberdeen take the lead, and one of their men of the season, Nicky Devlin, the Scotland international, powers it home past Butland, who could do absolutely nothing about it. There's something about this place right now, the Granite City, and Nicky Devlin gives Aberdeen a priceless lead. Rangers here, Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0, and the problems continue to mount for Philippe Clement.
Listen, it's just brilliant, isn't it, Liam? And it's the 2 fullbacks that have played a huge part. I mean, he did it a little bit earlier, Jack McKenzie. It's a great cross from the left-hand side, and who's up there on the 6-yard box? Nicky Devlin, 2 fullbacks right at the heart of that goal. You know, one supplying the ammunition, a little flick on, I think it was Keskinen perhaps, and then Nicky Devlin, he just puts the laces through it with the right foot. Butland, no chance whatsoever, rattles it into the top corner to give Aberdeen the lead.
It's a brilliant ball from McKenzie, the flick from Keskinen as well, but what a controlled finish from Nicky Devlin as well. That's his 4th goal of the season. And he's given Aberdeen the lead against Rangers. And remember, an Aberdeen victory tonight would result in their best ever start to a season. And Tavernier's lost out to Duke, who's driving forward up against Raskin. He's inside the area. Duke looking for an option in red, chips it in and headed away by Suter. Nielsen with the header for Shinnie, rifles it towards goal, off the post. Butland was beaten, it comes off the post, and Rangers scramble it behind for the corner. The visitors are rocking here at Pittodrie. Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0. So very nearly 2 goals in a minute. Shinnie off the post.
So close, isn't it? Shinnie with the right foot, he's at the right side, just on the 18-yard line, gets his head over it. It's Nielsen that heads it down to him, and Butland is done. He's gone. He can't get anything on it, and so unlucky.
In comes McGrath's corner. It's headed by Rubezic towards goal. Rangers head clear. Shinnie controls the edge of the box, shoots again. It is blocked. Breaks to Nielsen. Aberdeen relentless at the moment. Shinnie rolls it back to Rubezic, who goes back to Malloy. Left-footed ball. It's going to be easily away by Casemiro this time. Now, what kind of reaction have Rangers got? Here comes Bayrami, hearing down the far side. McKenzie covers across. Breaks back to Casemiro. His pass goes straight to Shinnie, who can pass it back to Mitov, who fires it forward first time. Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0. It's a big test for Rangers this now, Willie Miller. In fact, Duke's just gone round Tavernier, brilliant skill. He's inside the box. Duke rolls it back towards McGrath. It's now with Nielsen at the edge of the box. Didn't fancy the shot. Finds McGrath, who finds Duke, and that's a wonderful sliding challenge by Suter. Rangers all over the place right now.
They've been tested, aren't they? Rangers really testing their mettle. Duke, you know, showing that pace, initially setting up the opportunity and then getting the chance to have the strike at goal as well. But John Suter had to be strong, had to realise the danger, spot the danger, get in there and make the block, and that's exactly what he did, showing his class. But Aberdeen on fire at this moment in time, and Rangers really struggling.
Aberdeen corner, half-time whistles beginning to go across the country. Goalless at Celtic Park. Hearts have gone in front though against Kilmarnock through Alan Forrest. Aberdeen leading here at Pittodrie against Rangers. Corner from McGrath, and it comes headed away by Suter. It's now with Keskinen, fires it in towards goal. It comes off a Rangers head. Sockler battling with Casemiro out on that far side. He goes down. Was he tripped? No, says the assistant on the far side, and Rangers come away with it. With Casemiro, rolls it back into his own box, and Suter has done a manful job keeping Aberdeen at bay in the last couple of minutes. Balogun clears. It's now with Barron, who finds McCausland. McCausland in field to Lawrence. Nielsen with the challenge, and then Mackenzie's tripped by Dessers, and that's a free kick to Aberdeen, and it will be a free kick at just round about the edge of their own penalty area. I can tell you there's going to be a little stoppage here, Willie Miller, because they're checking for a possible penalty here for Aberdeen.
Was that Sockler going down wide in the right hand side?
Well, yeah, well,
under challenge, and the referee just waved for it. I wasn't really, I think the referee was hoping that his linesman would make a decision on it. No, it's a handball, so I'm a wee bit baffled where the handball might have been.
Well, it was Keskinen smashed it into the box, wasn't it? I presume it's from that. You're getting a chance to see it here. So this was Keskinen, rifled it into the box, and it's either come off. It's John Suter, I think, is the one that they're looking at.
I think it's head and then onto his arm, is it not? That's what it looked like. He's ducked down, he's trying to get his head on it. I think it slid off his head and onto his arm.
Well, that's what Suter's claiming right now. We're in the final 10 minutes of the first half with Aberdeen leading 1-0. They were awarded a penalty here against Dundee United late on at the weekend. It was eventually ruled out for offside. But John Beaton is waiting the VAR this evening for this one's Don Robertson. They're checking for a possible Aberdeen penalty for a handball against John Suter.
That's hit his arm. It doesn't come off his head. And his arm is out.
Well,
yeah.
Willie, that to me,
I think he's just misread the flight of the ball.
I think John Beaton's going to come over and have a look at this. John Beaton's going to come over and have a look at it. John Suter looks to the heavens, but Aberdeen look like they're about to be awarded a penalty kick here. Suter has stooped to try and head it, and it's come off his arm.
Yeah, I mean, he's misjudged the flight of it completely. I'm thinking, well, he's went for the head there. If it's come off his head and onto his arm, then it's no penalty. But he just misjudged it completely. There's no doubt that it's come off his arm. The only saving grace from his point of view is if it comes off his head first. But if it's hit his arm, just straight on.
Willie's getting another chance to see a replay here.
I don't think it's come off his head.
It's definitely his arm it's come off of.
Yeah, no, but if it comes off his head first, you know how he stoops to look as though he's going to head it. If it comes off his head first and onto his arm, it's no penalty.
But I don't think it's touched his head, Willie.
I think there's a deflection in front on 11.
Tom Lawrence.
It's Tom Lawrence's hand as well.
So there might well be two handballs in there.
Two handballs. Definitely throws his hand out. I think there's two handballs, yeah.
He's still looking at it. John Beaton. He's been talked through it. The decision's been made. He's coming back on the pitch and he's given Aberdeen a penalty. The Dons already with a 1-0 lead have a penalty to go into a sensational 2-goal lead here against Rangers.
I think he's got it right, and looking at the situation, Liam, the ball driven in by Keskinen. I didn't see the deflection, but I think it's come off Tom Lawrence's hand. Hence, when Suter goes down, he's thinking he's got the line of the ball and he's going to head it, but that deflection takes onto his arm as well. So a definite penalty in my book, after having seen the replays.
Well, Jamie McGrath has the ball. It was initially looked as though it was going to be Sockler, but McGrath was a brilliant penalty taker in his time at St Mirren and at Dundee United, and he is on penalty duty here, and are Aberdeen about to double their lead? Jamie McGrath, hands on hips, stands and stares out the ball in the penalty spot. The ref's ready. Here comes McGrath. Right-footed penalty. Oh, it's poor. It's saved by Butland. Yeah. It's a dreadful penalty by McGrath. Butland could have thrown his cap on it, and it stays Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0. A massive let-off for the visitors.
It's just about as bad as it could get, isn't it? With the right foot. Butland goes the right way, but it's barely off centre, and there's no power in it, and it's low. It's along the grass as well. It's such an easy take for the Rangers goalkeeper, and a huge let-off.
Well, that's a big boost for Rangers, that one. Barron's won it back the edge of the box by Rami, goes for goal, but it's a comfortable take for Mitov. How important will that save prove to be come the close of this game tonight? It could be massive. Could be massive for both these clubs' seasons, let alone this game of football tonight.
I think it's the quality of the penalty, though, isn't it? Jim McGrath, such a good player, such a sweet striker of the ball, and he gets the opportunity there from the spot, and it's just so poor. It's weak. There's no power behind it. There's no direction. It's low. It's such an easy one for Butland to grasp.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie McGrath will look at that and he'll probably think, I haven't taken a penalty as bad as that in my career, maybe even as a kid. And Butland holds on, and Rangers holding on a little bit here, because that penalty, if that goes in, they are bang up against it here.
Yeah, they were backs to the wall defending, since Aberdeen took that lead through Nicky Devlin, and they've barely been in the Aberdeen half, so it's all been about just trying to survive. And when you get that penalty presented to you and you don't take the opportunity, then it gives them a lift. But had it gone in, then huge uphill battle for them.
But here's Tavernier up in attack for Rangers, infield central area by Rami, back to Raskin, low ball out to McCausland on the near side, level with there to the D of the Aberdeen box. He rolls it back along the grass to Barron, and infield to Raskin, short to the right for Bayrami, who's popped up on this near side. Now McCausland, Bayrami looks up, bends a cross in, headed away by Malloy. Sockler takes it down and finds McGrath, who's chopped to the ground by Raskin. The ref's happy with it though. Here's McCausland, low ball into the box, clear by Rubičić, and out into touch for a Rangers throw in on this near side. We are into the final 4 minutes just about of the first half here. The Pittodrie is going to be a fair amount, I think, bolted on to the end of the opening part of this match. Half-time scores elsewhere: Celtic 0, Dundee 0, Dundee United 1, Motherwell 1, Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 0, Ross County 0, Hibernian 0, St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1. They're all half-time scores in this full midweek card in the Premiership. Ball up and moves it from left to right of the centre circle in his own half for Suter, and down out to this near side for Tavernier, who goes back to Suter. Rangers see more of the ball just since the penalty was saved than they had for much of the match prior to that. As Tavernier's cross comes in, Dessers heads it way over the bar, and Dessers is pointing at one of his teammates who's gone to ground. I think he's wanting a penalty there, as we just about tick on to 42 minutes. It's 1-0 Aberdeen.
I think he should just reconsider his header. It was a poor header, wasn't it? A decent cross in from Tavernier, off the top of his head, well over the bar. I think it's Lawrence, isn't it, that was coming in behind him to try and maybe if it came over Dessers' head, he would have had the better opportunity to get a header on goal, but Dessers' header was a poor effort.
Okay, we're hearing there's going to be 4 minutes added on at the end of the first half here. So still 7 to the break. As Mitov rolls it to the right for Rubičić. Dessers has caught him again. Well, John Beaton's blown for a free kick. Was it the challenge by Dessers and Rubičić? Those two having a right ding-dong out there tonight. I think it's for something further up the pitch there. And Dessers, of course, he pushed out at Rubičić earlier on, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he's come in late on, Rubičić. Listen, there's a wee bit of needle going on. There's two big, strong lads out there. Oh, wait a minute, I don't know what that's all about right enough.
I think Rubičić is giving it to Mitov, but Dessers says, no, that's you taking the free kick. So Dessers raced to try and get onto the ball, and he's annoyed that the referee's whistle goes.
Well, I should just leave it then, Rubičić. I don't think he needs to touch it, and it's only travelled, 2 or 3 yards. Just leave it for Mitov to take the free kick. But it's a bit of a battle with the two, the striker and the centre back. But as I said, they're two big, strong lads. Let them go on with it.
Here come Aberdeen on the right hand side. Devlin's pass down the line, cut out by Casemiro, and out for an Aberdeen throw in. Devlin, the goal scorer, right in front of the Rangers supporters over on that far side, who sit and watch this game level with their own penalty area. Devlin bowls it short to Sockler, back to Devlin, gets the ball into the middle. Suter's clearance isn't great, drops to McKenzie, shoots, saved brilliantly by Butland. Really good effort by McKenzie, caught that sweet. Rangers clear after the Butland save though. 1-0 Aberdeen. Here's McGrath coming forward, and then waited too long. Sockler remained the run, but Barron nicks it off him. Rangers with Raskin, fires it out to this right hand side for Ross McCausland. McCausland's early ball looking for Dessers, he's going to get onto it, left angle of the box, leaves it to come through to Bayrami. Devlin facing him, it is Bayrami, left hand side of the Aberdeen box, now onto the left foot he goes. The challenge from Devlin, back off Bayrami, but the flag's gone up on this near side. Final minute of the regulation, 45. Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0.
And they deserve to be in the lead, Aberdeen. They've been the better side, they've been the more attacking minded. They've had that opportunity through the penalty, the Jack McKenzie strike, as well, the shinny shot that came off the post, the McGrath free kick that wasn't too far away. So they've had plenty of opportunity, plenty of the ball. and you just look at them, it's so forward thinking, isn't it? Two fullbacks play a huge part, you know, in the flanks. The two wide players in front of them come in a little bit, allow them, you know, room down the flanks. The goal kind of sums it up for me. McKenzie crossed it, touched by Keskinen, and then the other fullback at the other side in the box, 6 yards out to rifle it home.
Right, we're into the first of 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. And Jack McKenzie is a throw-in for Aberdeen on the halfway line on this main stand side, the Aberdeen left. Looking for a bit of movement ahead of him, not much of that going on. He plays it short to Nielsen. Lawrence with the challenge. Nielsen tries to take it down, knocks it forward with the left foot, high ball. Sockler chasing, Suter gets his head onto it. Sockler chases, but Butland will get there. Balogun tried to chaperone it back to his goalkeeper, and he did successfully. And it's been the usual powder keg evening between these two under the floodlights here at Pittodrie Stadium. And it's Rangers with Balogun to Suter. Can they find an equaliser before the half-time interval? Suter has it, pushes it forward to Barron. Now it's with Raskin, right of the centre circle. Into it now. Rolls it to Barron, across the halfway line goes Connor Barron. Infield to Raskin. Taverniers in space out on this near side. He wanted the ball played earlier, and Raskin in the end doesn't play it at all. Square left there for Balogun, forward to Lawrence, and he overhits the pass back to Leon Balogun. And it's going to be a long ball from Balogun. Desser's got in behind Rubizic here. Malloy trying to cover back. Dessers has it. McCausen's waiting for a tap-in. Dessers keeps it alive, pulls it back to Bayrami, drops the shoulder, left-hand side of the box, low ball in! And McCausland's there to touch home, but the flag's gone up on this near side. They'll be checking it quite clearly. Rangers' best moment in the attacking third in this first half, and they thought they'd drawn level in stoppage time.
Yeah,
might still do if he's on.
I had a feeling that it was really tight. Is it Dessers that's making the run in behind the Aberdeen line? You know, it's a really good, well worked goal from then on in. You know, with McCausland at the back post, lovely drill ball right across the face. Maybe McCausland looked perhaps to be in an offside position. It was a forward pass, so you know, a couple of lines to be drawn. I would feel in the build-up.
That's what they're doing. This isn't done yet.
No. Might take a little bit of time because I think we'll have to check both of them.
This is a tight one.
Yeah.
And this is going to be tight. As Willie's saying there, they're going to have to look at Dessers and McCausland, the two phases in play here, before they can allow Rangers this equaliser. We shall see. John Beaton, he's already had a lengthy delay when Aberdeen were awarded the penalty.
You just felt that McCausland maybe
just... offside's a decision, it doesn't stand.
Yeah.
No goal. Stays 1-0 Aberdeen, knocking on half-time.
I think it was McCausland though that perhaps, I think Dessers was really tight, it was really tight, but I think he's onside. We're getting a little preview and the line's being drawn, looks as though Dessers onside. And then they'll show you McCausland.
They're saying Dessers is off there, Willie.
Offside,
yeah. It's the top half of his body, it's offside there. That's what's been given for, as Barron wins it back for Rangers. Now down the right for McCausland. Rangers finishing the first half strongly here. McCausland up towards the edge of the box, rolls it in, and Devlin gets the challenge there ahead of Lawrence, whose eyes lit up because he thought the ball was coming to him and he would have had a free shot on goal. Devlin came from nowhere to get in the road of it and force it back to Mitov. There's been so many Aberdeen players have made headlines this season. Nicky Devlin, for me, he's been the pick of the bunch this campaign. He's been outstanding.
No, he has been. You know, and I've sung in praises of both full-backs, but Devlin, on that occasion, I don't know if he knew too much about it. It certainly wasn't a pass back. He's came in, he's covered the cross into the box. It's came off his foot, and I think rather fortunately it's went into the arms of Mitov. But that was an interesting line there, because I could see a lot of grass in front of in front of Dessers, but it must have been maybe his hand that was in an offside position. Certainly wasn't any part of his lower body.
It's half time. As dramatic as ever when these two go head to head, and tonight has been no different here. Aberdeen leading through a Nicky Devlin goal after rifling home Mackenzie's cross, which was flicked on by Keskinen, but Aberdeen could have had it so much better. Jamie McGrath, after a lengthy check, took a penalty, but it was poor. He side-footed it, and no power in it, and it was a comfortable save, as comfortable as you get for a goalkeeper from the penalty spot. Rangers at the ball in the net on the stroke of half-time. But offside was given against Cyril Dessers in the build-up, and that means at half-time, and we'll be back here with the second half on this frequency, but at half-time at Pittodrie, it is Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0.
Here, County started the sharper of the two teams, but nothing really to show for it. A long range shot from Chilvers was well wide. Hibs slowly passed themselves back into the game and created a really half decent chance. Junior Hoylett went down the right hand side, his shot hit the side net, and then Jordan Abita hit a wonderful left footed strike from 25 yards that Laidlaw had to do really well to save. Then right on half time, the closest we came, a free kick for County thrown there. Big Jordan White got up and bulleted a header towards Bursik's top left-hand corner. The Hibs keeper got across and parried out. We're into 5 minutes the second half. Eli Ewan had a chance within 60 seconds. He cut in, fired over the bar, but so far it's still Ross County 0, Hibernian 0.
Thanks to John Robertson. So Celtic 0, Dundee 0, Dundee United 1, Motherwell 1, Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 0, Ross County 0, Hibs 0, St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1, and half-time at Pittodrie. A fantastic first half here, Billy Dawes. Aberdeen with the advantage.
Oh, not half. I mean, it's had everything: intensity, atmosphere, controversy, and it all started in 3 minutes. Dessers to McCausland, they combined, and Dessers cut it back. Devlin, and when he hit his shot, Devlin had to block. Into the 10th minute, Aberdeen, it was their turn to attack. Sockler pressuring Balogun. He made the mistake. The cut back found McGrath, and somehow Butland saved his shot. Broke to Devlin again at the edge of the box, and he curled it wide. Then the controversy came, 3 big talking points. Balogun injured as Mackenzie was going through and goal, and John Beaton stopped play, pulled it back for a head knock. Then the pass through set Sockler. It looks as if he was going to go through 1-on-1, and he was wiped out by Balogun. Seemed to get a touch on the ball. Good call by John Beaton. Bayrami then pushed Devlin, and no penalty given. But Aberdeen were on top at this point. They were pushing and finding good space, especially edge of the box. No Rangers midfielders in show. Mackenzie found the ball on the left hand side. His cross found Keskin, and he flicked it, fell to Devlin at the back post, and he rifled home. 2 minutes later, could have been two, should have been two. Shinnie hit it into the ground. Butland was just staring at it, and it ended up scalping off the post. And just before half time, I mean, Aberdeen, they let Rangers off the hook. It was a VAR review. Suter looked as if he had moved his arm to the ball. A penalty was given, and Jamie McGrath probably hit the worst penalty of the season, probably the worst penalty he could ever hit in his life, and he rolled it back to Butland, tried to give him the ice. Rangers, well, they thought they were level at half time. That would have been a get out of jail free card when Bayrami drove down the left, drove it across the goal. McCausland tapped it in, and the referee or the linesman put the flag up. It went to VAR. It was a close one, but it was ruled out. It's been some first half. Aberdeen deservedly in front. At half time, it's Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, Billy, just looking at the pictures coming in, and we're seeing yourself on the screen, and obviously hearing the noise coming through. And this game for me just typifies why we love Scottish football. The passion, the drama, the energy. It's just had everything, that game tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what it was all about for the first 15. We were waiting for something to happen. There was a lot of free kicks. You can imagine the atmosphere in here. We're making players do things they don't normally do, but they were giving away free kicks. It was breaking up, and then it took off, and Aberdeen realised they smelt blood. They got the goal. They were pressing. They should have got the second. Then they got the penalty. They miss it, and it's coming from the Aberdeen crowd. The team are feeding off them. Rangers, Kenny, they have to find a way. If it comes from the manager, who it should, then he's got to be into them. He's got to make changes, but something's got to happen. Even if they don't win this game, they have got to change their mentality and show they're going to scrap for a goal or try and get back in it, because the fans won't be happy if it stays like this and Aberdeen score again, or even if it stays 1-0 and this is this type of second half showing. I think the Rangers fans are in the edge of anarchy, and that's where they're at. Get into the second half.
Yeah, we'll hear from the managers post-match and all the games tonight. Incredible drama there at Celtic Park, Martin Dowden.
Unbelievable chance for Celtic, or really it was 3. It was just blocked, it was saved. Absolutely fantastic save from McCracken, just diving up to his left to tip the ball away. Just before that, Luis Palma as well sort of cut in from the left hand side, curled one towards the far post. McCracken again, a brilliant save low down to tip it away for a corner, but Celtic definitely upping the intensity here as they probe and probe, still 0-0.
Jim Newlands on Twitter. First time I've tuned in to the TV coverage of Sports Sound. It's a great idea, especially for nights like this. Looking forward to a really good night of action. Jim, it's been terrific. We're on the BBC Scotland channel right now. You can also find us on the iPlayer. So on television, we're on until the final whistle at the game at Pittodrie. We remain on the radio to bring you, of course, post-match reaction on Sports Sound. It's going to be really interesting, Tom English, to hear some of the comments from the manager if things stay as they are right now.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking at the stats from Celtic. Dundee, 81.7% possession. Celtic,
it's incredible.
16 shots, only 3 on target though. You know, so they're kind of 28 touches in the Dundee box, 4 touches for Dundee in the Celtic box. It's one-way traffic apart from on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's just one of these games, Scott. Every time I look up, we've got all the screens, of course, but every time I look up, as Martin said, you just see Celtic on the attack. But the longer this game goes on, the crowd get a bit edgy, Dundee get more and more belief.
Yeah, they do get more belief, but I think it's hard to put on that sort of defensive display for 90 minutes against a Celtic team, and they can make changes, but then start stretching it, fatigue kicks in unless you make some changes and they come on, but they're then hoping that nobody switches off and Dundee can hang on from their point of view. But you fully expect Celtic to find a way through this at some stage.
Let's bounce around the grounds again. Let's start at Tynecastle. Hearts at home to Kilmarnock. Back underway there, Derek.
Yeah, and they're on the front foot. A real strong start to the second half. A little bit surprised. I thought might get a little bit of a reaction from Kilmarnock, but no, they've started really strong, forcing the question. There's a corner kick whipped in. It just bounces Boateng with a strike, but plenty of bodies in there. It looks as if it's going one way, and that one way is a second goal for Hearts, because again they've been slack for the most part. Really surprising. I thought they would have had more of a go, but they're dominating possession. They look the most likely to create things, and you know they're producing a little bit of pressure. Kilmarnock, they're standing up to at the moment, but I just think it's a matter of time before they get the second. Hearts.
Yeah, let's get back to Tannadice. Rory Loy's watching that game. Dundee United against Motherwell. What's happening in the early stages of the second half, Rory?
Motherwell have started well. Masaniwa had a wee half a chance there. He could have lifted his head and played in his teammate, but he decided not to, and he shot over the bar. Other than that, the only thing I've noticed is, obviously I mentioned Stephen O'Donnell went off. One thing I didn't notice that 18-year-old Lennon Miller is now wearing the captain's armband, so a nice moment for him.
Wow.
That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah,
what
and you gave us a wee insight. You met him, you did a bit of work with him. You gave us an insight into the personality at that point. We can see the ability, but the personality, the leadership is clearly there.
Like he cut in, Kenny, we've got a VAR check here for handball, so just to let you know.
Right, okay, and chance for you, Stephen.
Yeah, it was. It was actually a cross from Killian Phillips, and Ross Sinclair in goal completely misjudged it, and it crashes off the crossbar, the angle of the crossbar of the post. It then falls to Olasanya, who cuts inside and has a shot and it's deflected wide. St Mirren have started the half really strongly, so it was almost a bit of good fortune that put St Mirren in front.
Right, what's happening there, Derek?
No penalty, but Shanklin just there on the half ball, edge of the box, just drives one and just always rising above that right hand post bar. Sorry, but it's all Hearts at the moment. Surely there's got to be a reaction from Kilmarnock. You look at the quality of player they've got. Should be expecting a little bit more, but yeah, Hearts in the driving seat.
Yeah, difficult place to go, Tynecastle. Scott, in terms of Lennon Miller, you were just giving us a wee insight into the character of the boy.
Yeah, I think that tells you what his manager, coaches and teammates think of him. The fact he's come out with that armband on, I also think it probably has another £1 million to his price tag at Motherwell. Aren't daft, but seriously, that tells you everything you need to know, that he's the go-to man in that Motherwell side.
And you believe he's going to really go places?
Yeah, I think for me, big talent. I think his next move, which will come at some point, it will be very important he picks the right team, but bags and bags of ability and composure.
Scott, you've played obviously for a lot of big clubs up here and down south. Where would you like to see him go? Where do you think would be best for him to go?
Really good question.
Somewhere where he's going to play, he's going to continue to play and continue to progress.
I think Derek's in best position to tell you that. He's obviously with his own son, obviously going across there.
Yeah, I think
he's the best placed.
But even Lewis with Aberdeen, I just think it's important because he is a top player. You can see that there's a bit of class about him, but I think it's
you know, it's really important that he keeps playing. You know, sometimes you can go to these big teams and you can become a bit part player. I just, you know, whether they can come to some arrangement that whether some club does buy him, then he can see out the remainder of the season or the next season even at Mother. But it's important that Lennon keeps playing football.
Are you thinking, Derek, that the next move should be similar to Lewis, to a bigger club in Scotland, and then potentially move on abroad? Is that a thing you're thinking for him, or do you think his next move is going to be away from Scotland?
Well, it was I can only talk about Lewis in terms it was a great pathway. I mean, when he was going to Aberdeen, first of all I looked at who was not just the manager but who was in the backroom staff, and there was a few ex-midfielders, good players, but more importantly good people, and I knew he'd be looked after really well. I didn't expect Lewis to make the breakthrough quite as quick, but he did, and he played a good number of games, and I think that's important with Lennon, that whatever club that he chooses, you know, pick it carefully in terms of, you know, keep playing, keep progressing, because there's one thing for sure, he's going to the top of the game.
Kenny, I'm not sure anybody in Scotland would pay the money that Motherwell are potentially looking for.
Really?
Well, you look at Celtic, their biggest outlay to a Scottish player, I think, through me, tell me if I'm wrong, Scott Brown for £4 million all those years ago. So I don't imagine they're going to go and spend £6 million on Lennon Miller. I wouldn't have thought so.
Is that the sort of money you're talking
what
about?
Would it take, Stephen?
Yeah. Well, I know that's a hard one to say.
because if I know, listen, Rangers are desperate for players, right?
But they couldn't afford, you know that.
But what Rangers should be doing, and it's probably too late now for Lennon Miller, they should be hoovering up all of the best young players in Scotland to build a new team.
Yeah, because that could be an investment then.
Motherwell won a penalty, just have a quick look.
You develop the player.
Yeah.
Right, okay, we'll just have a quick look and I'll pick this up.
A hand
it's
went
interesting.
out, and it certainly hit Kevin Holt's hand, I think it was.
Right.
Whether it was in the box, whether it was out the box is maybe another question, but it looked like his arm was out, and it did hit his arm from where I could see, so it'd be interesting to see if the referee is asked to go and have a look.
Right, here we go now. Hope it's a good angle. Didn't see anything there, did you?
Really, no.
No, is it still been checked, Rory, or is there any announcement, or?
Not currently at the moment. The corner's still not been taken. Did it not hit his hand?
I just listen. We've got, as you know, we've got the 6 screens in here, so I've just had a quick look there. It's the screen nearest to me, but no, you're back underway, aren't you?
Yeah, we're back underway. There's no penalty, but I was convinced it hit his hand.
Right, what we're talking about for Lennon Miller, are you suggesting then that more than £4 million, that's what it would take?
Well, certainly in and around the £4 million figure with add-ons to go on top of that. But remember, if you're getting someone at 18 or 19, that investment could be for the next 10 or 12 years. Yeah. Or it could be for 2 years and he gets better again, and you could sell him like Celtic have done with so many players for 8, 9, 10 million. So there's definitely a move plus another move potentially on top of that. So I think it would be a wise investment. I'm not too sure Celtic would spend the money.
I think as well, if you look at Miofsky and what Aberdeen sold him for, when you consider Lennon Miller's doing, you know, similar to what Miofsky was doing, you know, he's playing every week in a different position. He's not scoring the goals, so maybe he's not grabbing the headlines from that point of view. But, you know, £9 million or whatever it was, 8.5 for Miofsky. I absolutely agree with Stephen. I think Motherwell should be asking for every penny they can get, in the millions and millions, because it is a huge investment.
I think it's safe to say that they will be asking for every penny they can get. They will. It's a fait accompli that he's going to leave.
No, but you know what I mean, Tom, because there's a lot of clubs these days who, you know, almost price a player out of a move by the time the agents cut in and this is cut in and that's cut in. But what I mean by that is Motherwell should stand firm and not accept any derisory bids. They should stand firm like Aberdeen did with Miofsky.
I think they will. And we talk about Lennon Miller, and he's obviously exceptional. Ewan Wilson, 19 years of age as well. I love the fact that when we talked about all the lack of young Scottish players in the game. There's 2 of them.
Celtic.
Right, Martin.
It's Celtic 1, Dundee 0, and it's one of the substitutes, 3 brought on by Brendan Rodgers just a couple of minutes ago. It's Alistair Johnston who slides in and just nets into the corner to get the breakthrough. Brendan Rodgers clearly had enough. He brought on Rio Itati, Dyson Maheda.
Goal!
Yes, Stephen.
It's goal for St Mirren. They win the ball back in St Johnson's half. I think it's Greg Kilty does incredible work defensively, turns the ball over, plays it down the right hand side to Killian Phillips. He goes to the byline, stands it up to the back post, and is it Scott Tanzer for the second goal? I couldn't see who got the goal. but certainly it's big celebrations here. A lot of relief around St Mirren Park, and it's 2-1 to the home side.
Right, just stay with us. We'll bring some clarity on that. Time again to give you the option of commentary from Pittodrie. Aberdeen against Rangers. That was with Willie Miller and Liam McLeod. You can hear that on Radio Scotland Extra, online and digital right now.
Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
And a very warm welcome back to Pittodrie Stadium here on BBC Radio Scotland Extra and medium wave and on digital. Rangers have made a switch at the interval there. John Sterling has come on for Ross McCausland. He'll go out to play on the right wing. McCausland, remember, had been yellow carded in that first half. He did have the ball in the net in stoppage time, ruled out for an offside in the build-up. Rangers are going to kick off the second half trailing 1-0, shooting right to left as we watch from the back of the main stand in one of their change kits, the dark blue with red flashes, Aberdeen all in red with white, and they will go left to right, unusually for them in the second half, towards the King Street end. The red shed as Tom Lawrence knocks it back to Tavernier, who dinks the ball out to the right there for Sterling, who controls and gets a first feel of the ball. Infield to Tavernier, gives it away straight to Sockler, and now it's with McGrath over on the far side for Aberdeen. Runs into trouble. Raskin wins it back for Rangers, and then Tavernier sweeps it back to his goalkeeper. Have to say, since Jamie McGrath's poor penalty was saved, I thought Aberdeen were pretty flat after that. Seemed to affect them. Rangers had their best spell in the game after that.
I think it normally does, Liam. You know, when you've had that big opportunity and you haven't taken it, and it was presented to them in a plate as well, and what it does to the opposition, i.e. Rangers on this occasion, it gives them a lift because you know they've got out of jail.
Here come Rangers down the right hand side. Sterling right in front of the Rangers supporters, burning away from Duke, gets the cross in, blocked by McKenzie, and Rangers have a corner in the opening minute of the second half over on that far side. And they'll take a heck of a lot from the fact the scoreline's only 1-0. Remember, Aberdeen missing the penalty. They've also hit the post. Jamie McGrath with the whole goal gaping, and an effort blocked by Tavernier as well. There'll be other opportunities. Devlin's goal separates the sides, but it's an outswinging right-footed corner from Tavernier, which is headed away by Keskinen. Might well have been Sockler actually got the final touch on that header. Breaks back to Tavernier on the right, smashes it into the box. McGrath clears this time. Now it's with Bayrami over on the far side. Back to Tavernier. His attempted ball into the box is charged down by Sockler and out for a Rangers throw-in over on that far side. I'll keep you up to date as we go along with the other scores in the Premiership. I'm hearing Kilmarnock have equalised through Matty Kennedy, former Aberdeen player at Tynecastle. Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 1 in that one. As Rangers come forward, Casimiro, the give and go with Bayrami, back to Casimiro, ball into the box, cleared by Devlin, and behind for another Rangers corner. It's been a bright start to the second half by the visitors.
It has been. They really needed it though, didn't they? You know, although they finished the first half, you know, reasonably strong, and I think it was just a relief of that penalty being saved, and they've started the second half with much more intent. Aberdeen will need to, you know, make sure they don't allow the visitors to dominate these early proceedings.
So a chance again for Tavernier, this time from this near side. The Rangers left, right in front of the tunnel, as they attack the Richard Donald beach end. Tavernier back to the edge of the box for Lawrence, nobody around him, rolls it to the left angle of the area, in comes Bayrami's cross, and it beats everyone and goes through. In fact, one of the Rangers players might well have got the deftest of touches onto that and almost turned it home at the back post. There was Leon Balogun, I think.
He's got to score. I mean, he just got to score. I'm sure he can see it all the way too. Yeah, he makes a good run. Maybe there's someone in front of him just puts him off perhaps, but there is a touch, and it goes out for the goal kick. It was a good opportunity, a really good cross from the left hand side, and a big chance.
It looked like it might go all the way in itself there, the cross ball. It flashes by the right hand post, the goalkeeper's left, and it's Mitov. The long ball out to Duke. He's asking a lot of Duke there, and it comes off Tavernier, and out for a Rangers throwing off Duke last, says the assistant on the far side. Tavernier bowls it to Lawrence. Rangers trying to seize the moment here. They've been on top since the break. Down the right goes Lawrence. He's overhit the cross ball, but Bayrami will be able to keep it alive. Left hand side of the area. Rolls it back to Casimiro. Square ball towards Raskin. It's now with Shooter. Dessers has gone down inside the box for some reason. Rangers have it on the right hand side. McKenzie with the challenge on Tavernier, and out for a throw-in level with the penalty spot. for the visitors. Aberdeen still leading 1-0, but it's been all Rangers since the break. Remember how Aberdeen started the second half against Dundee United here on Saturday. Well, Rangers have started the second period in bright, sprightly fashion here as they try and find an equaliser. It's with Leon Balogun midway inside his own half. Long right foot ball down that far side. McKenzie wins the header. Now it's Nielsen back to McKenzie over on the left flank. Plays it off Raskin. McKenzie doesn't know what it is. Sterling does. Sterling trying to get onto it. McKenzie with a challenge. Sean Sterling, the ref, gets some advisement from his assistant on the far side, and Rangers have a free kick over that right-hand touchline level with a penalty spot, and it's a yellow card as well for Jack McKenzie. Rangers free kick as they keep the pressure on in the opening 5 minutes of this second half.
There's not too much in that. I think he's rather unlucky, to be perfectly honest, Jack McKenzie, to get that yellow card. Yeah, he was the wrong side of the Rangers player. There was a little bit of contact, but for me, not enough for the yellow.
Tavernier over the free kick. Rangers trying to make hay while they're on top in the game, even if they are behind on the scoreline. Tavernier with the free kick. It's really poor though. He's overhit that one. Balogun trying to keep it alive on this near side, and he's done well to do so, but he runs into trouble. Duke wins it back for Aberdeen. It's going to be a foul by Balogun on Devlin, and it's an Aberdeen free kick on the right hand side of their own penalty area. They lead 1-0 as Celtic go 2-0 up against Dundee, and Arne Engels has dispatched a penalty. So the floodgates perhaps opening at Celtic Park after that opener from Alistair Johnston. Celtic 2, Dundee 0. No matter what happens here tonight, Celtic looks as though they will maintain their lead at the top flight. These two here, and Celtic, and indeed Motherwell, will be taking a break from league business at the weekend with those League Cup semis. Here's Lawrence for Rangers. It's a foul by Nielsen, and a yellow card as well for Sivert Nielsen. The ref sees that as a professional foul, and Nielsen has had plenty of bookings in his last few matches. There's another. He'll be due a suspension pretty soon, I think. And again, Willie, I don't think you can have any complaints there.
You can't. He likes that little one, doesn't he, when he gets caught the wrong side of a player, an opponent. And you know, he tries to conceal it, but I don't think the referee's going to buy that. It was absolutely correct that he got the yellow card.
Kilmarnock have turned it around at Tynecastle. Kyle Vassell's put them 2-1 up against Hearts. Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 2. Here come Rangers, who trail 1-0. Lawrence trying to spring away from Shinnie. Good challenge by Nielsen. Breaks back to Barron, whose shot is blocked. Now Sterling picks up right-hand side of the Aberdeen box. Plays almost exclusively in and around the Aberdeen penalty area right now. Tavernier short to Raskin. Goes through the gears, changes pace, right-hand side of the area, fires it across, and Meathoff holds on at his near post. It is Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0. But it's all about Rangers right now, Willie.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's major pressure, isn't it, in the early part of this second half. So Philippe Clement obviously got his message through to the players to up the tempo to try and dominate this game. And Aberdeen, you know, really not doing a great deal to get themselves up the pitch, although Keskinen trying to get it on the end of this one.
Casemiro gets there first, but he's put it behind for the corner. And that's some real relief for Aberdeen, because they're going to be up the pitch here thanks to the running of Topi Keskinen down this right-hand side, and Jamie McGrath comes over to take. That's exactly what the Aberdeen defence wanted.
Exactly. You know, you've got two wide players that are flying merchants. It's a great option just to ping it over the top, get yourself up the park. It's exactly what's needed from an Aberdeen point of view when they found themselves under pressure in the early part of this second half.
3-1 to St Mirren. Former Aberdeen midfielder Killian Phillips with it against St Johnston and Paisley. McGrath with the outswinging right-footed corner. It's headed down towards the Rangers goal, but blocked and cleared. Bouncing ball, awkward for Malloy. Was he fouled? No, says the referee. It is Bayrami who has it. He's done really well there, the Albanian, and he fires it to the right for Tavernier. Forward towards Rubitic, who's a bit fortunate there. He got a little bit caught as he went to ground. Dessers was hoping to get onto it, but it breaks Aberdeen's way. But Rangers have it back in the midfield, and it's Raskin, and he moves it to Casemiro, left of the centre circle. Out to Bayrami on this left-hand side. Bayrami now fancies his chances against Devlin and McGrath, driving down the left. It's still Bayrami. Devlin tries to get there. It's good, strong defending by Nicky Devlin. He holds Bayrami off, and it goes rolling behind for the goal kick. It's Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0, and Aberdeen are going to make a change, and Duke's numbers up. He's going to be replaced by Shayden Morris, who made that wonderful impact against Dundee United here on Saturday evening. and he will replace Duke. Willie Miller.
Yeah, the right change at the right moment. You know, Jimmy Tulane, obviously watching his team being hemmed back in there, needs that outlet, needs that pace. He knows that Shaden Morris will certainly give him that option, and then he's got Keskinen on one side, Morris on the other side. And I think Duke has fallen out of it in the second half, remembering his pre-season wasn't up to much, was it, coming into the game, and perhaps the legs are just telling. Midweek game as well, so I think it's a good football decision from the Aberdeen manager.
On comes Morris, who's cheered onto the pitch. What a difference! I was waiting to say 12 months makes. And you think, having been hooked by Neil Warnock 20 minutes into the game against Motherwell when they were 3-0 down, he gave away a penalty. It's been quite the turnaround in the, 7-8 months since then. Rangers have it down the right, they've had it for most of the second half. Desser's strong on the far side, but it goes out of play off him and out for an Aberdeen throw-in over there. By all accounts, the third St Mirren goal's been disallowed by VAR, or at least after consultation with the video assistant, so it remains 2-1 to St Mirren against St Johnstone. Another game there in the Premiership, Celtic leading 2-0, 1-1 Dundee United, Motherwell Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 2, goalless Ross County Hibs. 2-1 St Mirren, 1-0 Aberdeen here. The Dons have it with Devlin on this right hand side, just inside his own half. Forward to Morris, up against Casemiro, goes round him, driving forward, brilliant from Morris, away from Barron as well, gets the cross in, away by Balogun. It's a good clearance by Leon Balogun. Lawrence trying to get it under control, Nielsen staying with him, and does enough to force Lawrence off possession. Now it's with Shinnie. Morris wants it again over on the near side. Morris gets it from Shinnie, it's a good ball. Against Casemiro once again here. Morris tries to slip it forward to Devlin. Devlin on it, goes down just to the right of the box, no foul. Goes behind for a goal kick. Nicky Devlin with his arms outstretched at the assistant referee, David McGeehee, on this near side. There will be a goal kick only to Rangers. Been a better minute or two for Aberdeen.
A little bit of contact, but not enough for me, for Devlin to go down in the manner he did go down there. It was Raskin that was close to him, a little barge in the back, but nothing that major, so I think he was clutching at straws.
Long ball from Butland down the right, he's found Tavernier as well. It's a brilliant ball out by the Rangers keeper, and Tavernier slips it into Sterling. Shinnie with a challenge, a good one, but it is at the expense of another Rangers corner, their third of the second half.
Yeah, Aberdeen, getting himself up the park, but Rangers countering on that occasion, right from the goalkeeper all the way down. Very swift move, Tavernier at the heart of it as well, one in the corner, and just taking this game from defensive to an attacking situation.
Tavernier out-swinging corner from the far side into the box. It comes into the 6-yard area and it's headed high over the crossbar there. I think Casemiro or Balogun got the final touch. Might well have been Balogun. 6 yards from goal, it's over the bar, and it stays Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0 at Pittodrie on 57.
He's found a little bit of space for himself though there, Balogun, hasn't he? There's two Rangers players, but he was the one that took the responsibility. The header wasn't too far away, it just drifted over the bar, but from an Aberdeen point of view, you've got to get closer. I mean, he's a big threat, Balogun, as well, so you've got to make sure that you're marking him, surely.
Well, one thing that will annoy Philippe Clement right now, not apart from the fact that they are 1-0 down, obviously, is the fact that Dimitar Mitov hasn't made too many saves. We'll be hoping that changes. Or at least he's put in a position to be attempting to make saves, because Rangers getting shots on target. There haven't been too many of those. Suter squares it to Balogun on the left of the centre circle in his own half. Forward to Casemiro, down the line from Bayrami, sliding into Rubezic against Lawrence, and it goes out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side, midway inside the Aberdeen half. Bowled to the edge of the box, Malloy heads away out to the near side, and Devlin lashes it clear. Aberdeen can't get a hold of the ball though, Willie. They're second best at the moment, even though they have that precious lead.
They need to try and get a little bit of control of the ball and steady themselves whenever they win possession, and you know, managed to get themselves up the park. Yeah, they'll be looking for the pace of Keskinen and Morris, but you know, they haven't had any of the ball in the midfield area to allow these two players to be released. And for me, I think Sokler's too far back at this moment in time. I think he needs to be more of a focal point up top.
And Bayrami is away from Devlin, driving towards the penalty area, rolls it into space. Chance here for Rangers with Sterling. Body's getting in the way though, he didn't get space to find the shot. And Aberdeen clear in a little bit last ditch, and I think Malloy and McKenzie combined there to get it away. Rangers have it again with Suter. Squares it out left of the circle for Barron. Low ball with the side foot, right instep out to the left. Good play, Casanwero. He's away from a couple of challenges. He's found by Rami. Under pressure from Shinnie. It comes off referee Beaton. And play will have to stop. It was a little bit too close for comfort for Bayrami there. It will be an uncontested bounce ball in Rangers' favour, which is given to Raskin, who knocks it back to Barron. Out to Suter on the right hand side. Rangers looking for the equaliser. It's Tavernier on the right hand touchline, gets the cross in, headed away by Nielsen, but it's going to go behind for another Rangers corner. It's pretty unrelenting at the moment from the visitors.
Yeah, it's about concentration as far as Aberdeen's concerned, and you know, with Rangers having the upper hand now, they'll be hoping that they can, you know, break down this very stubborn Aberdeen rearguard. In fact, it's a whole team that'll defend at this moment in time.
Into the box from Tavernier. There's a header down of a Rangers player, Balogun again, but it will go behind for the goal kick this time. Well past the left hand post. Malloy sees it go behind, and Rangers since half time, well, they've enjoyed 72% of the possession.
Yeah.
We played an hour in the game. Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, they've lifted the tempo. Aberdeen haven't started the game particularly well.
Oh, yellow for Mitov for time wasting.
Well,
as a player, if you're into time wasting and those dark arts, do you start doing that with more than half an hour of the game to play?
I don't think so, and it's very unusual for Aberdeen to do that. Yeah, they've got the lead, but you know, anytime I've seen them this season, you know, there's always that intent to get forward and try to get the second goal. Okay, you know, they've won a lot of their games just by the one goal, and they're soaking up the pressure quite well, but I don't think you start time wasting this early in the game.
They've been very efficient. As I said, last 5 league wins have been by a single goal. McGrath does brilliantly. Shinnie has it. He's inside the Rangers box. Looks up for goal. He's back in the right. Chops back onto the left. Back onto the right. Eventually Barron gets the challenge in, but it breaks to Morris. Fires it across. No takers. Breaks to McKenzie. Left-hand side of the area. McKenzie, again, he overcooks it, but he's found McGrath, who spews and slices his effort from inside the D, well wide of the right-hand post. And it stays Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0 on 61.5.
Yeah, Shinnie at the heart of that one, you know, trying to manoeuvre the ball to get a clear shot at goal and not really managing it. And I just think Morris has got to take a little bit off that cross. He's in a good position. I think he's got to think about it a little bit more and try to pick out a player rather than just firing. And it was high as well, but the ball's given away.
Yeah, Rangers give it away. Morris has it for Aberdeen, driving at Balogun, driving up to the edge of the Rangers box. He's now inside it, looking to get in and head at Butland, who comes in and he takes a touch with the foot. Butland, he couldn't gather it with his gloves, but it breaks fortuitously for him to Casanwero, left-hand side of the box, and he can clear. Rubetic didn't win the header. The Aberdeen fans felt he was pushed by Cyril Dessers, and it breaks to Gavin Malloy anyway, and he rolls it back to his keeper. 62 on the clock. Aberdeen 1-0 up, and the Dons are going to make a double change. Vicente Pizaun, Antti Palaversa waiting to come on, as Keskinen picks up on the far side and rolls it back down the line for McKenzie. Infield to Nielsen, drifts it forward for Topi Keskinen, up against Suter on that left hand side, taking on Suter down to the corner flag. Low ball comes back, but it's straight to Balogun, who picks up and he clears, and it stays 1-0 to the hosts. Here comes Raskin for Rangers though, into the centre circle for Lawrence. Dessers and Bayrami ahead of him. Rolls it out wide left for Bayrami, taking on Devlin is the Albania international. Chops onto the right, he's inside the box now, he goes for goal, he finds it as well! Brilliant goal from Bayrami! Came through a ruck of players and into the far corner and off the post! And Rangers have their equaliser, one they'll feel they deserve for the second half performance. It's Aberdeen 1, Rangers 1.
It's a solo effort, isn't it, really, Bayrami? Magnificent footwork, taking on two Aberdeen players, Devlin in particular. Maybe should try to close him down a little bit early, but the footwork is fabulous. He just shifts it from right to left and then pulls the trigger. You know, he's on the edge of the left-hand side of the box, just on the 18-yard line, little one shimmy inside the box, and then he just so quick with you know, there's hardly any backswing to it. He just kind of a project, but with real good pace, and it just slides into the back of the net. They have deserved it. They played really well in the second half, Rangers.
Yeah,
they come again.
Yeah, and it's Lawrence from outside the box, and he rifles it high over the bar. Well, Aberdeen need to waken up here, because this could get away from them. One apiece. It's a fabulous goal by Nadim Bayrami. He took it beautifully. Lawrence was trying to give them the lead, and we remember Aberdeen's capitulation here a couple of seasons ago under Jim Goodwin, and they lost 2 Scott Arfield goals in stoppage time. Well, they've been pegged back there, Willie, and you have to say, you've already said Rangers deserved it. Aberdeen have been asking for that.
They have been, yeah. I mean, they haven't had an answer. They haven't had any control in the second half whatsoever. Rangers have come out and fired. They've upped the tempo, made you know, the change, and it certainly worked. But for me, it's Aberdeen's kind of a attitude towards the second half that's been disappointing.
Rangers have it wide on the right-hand side. It's with Raskin out to the touchline. It goes for Sterling. More purpose about Rangers since the interval, and Raskin fires it into the box, and it's away by Malloy. After that Rangers equaliser, the play has continued in the vein that we saw probably since Jamie McGrath's penalty was saved, as Devlin is caught in the near side. The ref doesn't see it as a free kick, and Rangers have a throw-in. Still Palaversa and Bazoun are waiting to come on. Those changes were going to be made before the Rangers goal. And there's still plenty of time in this game for one of these sides to go on and win it, Willie. 25 of the 90 to play.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a really intriguing game so far, isn't it? Aberdeen, you know, dominating the first half, but Rangers, you know, showing what they're made of, coming out in the second and really taking the game to Aberdeen.
Here comes Bayrami again, driving forward to the edge of the box, cut out by Rubedzic. That Bayrami goal, incidentally, second for the club, and just Rangers' second away league goal of the season. The only other one was Tom Lawrence's at Tannadice. Nielsen off, Palaversa on. It's going to be a triple change, because the weekend hero Peter Ambrose is going to come on as well. Keskinen is coming off. Bazoun will replace he. And presumably this will be Sockler off and Ambrose on. Willie Miller, talk us through that triple change. Jimmy Tellin cannot be happy with what he's seen since the break.
No, you know, I think he feels that he needs fresh legs, because I don't see him changing, you know, the shape or the formation at all. It's pretty well straight swaps, with Basaman coming on for Keskinen, for Palaversa coming on for Nielsen, who looked to have struggled for the second half, and even, you know, for a good part of the first half as well. And Ambrose top in place of Sockler, so, you know, no change to formation, just personnel.
Rangers have it on the left hand side with Bayrami, wins the corner off Devlin, and this pressure continues. Rangers have bossed things in the last probably half an hour of the match, taking the closing stages of the first half on top of what we've seen in the almost 22 minutes of this second period. John Souttar's up for this corner amongst others, and Tavernier's over it on this near side. Philippe Clement and Alec Ray down there trying to get messages across to their players. In comes the corner from Tavernier. It's a good one, and Mitov pats it over the bar, but it's come off a Rangers player last by the looks of it, because the goal kick's been given, and it remains at 1 apiece. Aberdeen with the better side in the first half and deserved their half-time lead. Could have been 2 or 3-0 up at the break, and Sterling's actually got in there ahead of Mitov to head it over.
Poor positioning from the Aberdeen goalkeeper, really.
Another ball straight into touch from Rubedzic. Remember, Aberdeen unbeaten this season, unbeaten under their manager. Rangers are pushing and pressing and probing, and it's Raskin off Shinnie and out for a Rangers throw-in on the far side. Well, Jimmy Tillin, Willie, will have to hope that the changes he's made, the 3 of them there, will have the desired effect.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, and I'm sure he's thinking just to get the freshness on, you know, get a bit more energy onto the field of play, try to, you know, press Rangers a little bit more, because they haven't got close to the Rangers players in the second half. They really need to work as a unit to close them down.
Bayrami, he runs into trouble. It's Devlin. Ambrose, heavy touch, but he's still on it, but it's closed out by Raskin, and now Bayrami has it. Rangers snapping into challenges and winning the ball back in double quick time when they lose it. Barron to Balogun, out to Souttar on that far side. John Souttar made his senior debut as a right back for Dundee United all those years ago here at Pittodrie. He's been fouled by McGrath on the halfway line, and Rangers have a free kick.
Well, the good news for me is I can remember that as well. He's a fabulous player. I think he's been blighted with injury, of course, which is always disappointing in a quality player, but he's got calmness, he's good use of the ball, reads it well, decent in the air too, and his career has been pretty substantial.
And Souttar's ball out wide right for John Sterling, midway inside the Aberdeen half, slides it forward to Tavernier, pulls it back, Lawrence, Dessers is in there, chance for Bayrami, and his efforts blocked brilliantly by Rubezic. Aberdeen hanging on here. Rangers come again with Dessers, spins to the edge of the box, one back there by Rubezic. He was fouled, and Aberdeen have had a free kick given to them just at the edge of the box. Just about the entire Rangers coaching staff was out there ready to celebrate a goal which would have put them in front, Willie. 2-3
opportunities, good play down the right hand side, but very positive defending. Eventually it's Rubezic that gets the challenge in. He's beaten initially, but then he recovers well and he sees the danger, and it's a really good challenge from the big centre half.
On Bayrami it was. Rangers have a man down, it is Bayrami. They're going to have to look to their bench now, are the visitors. One apiece then here at Pittodrie. Next up for these two League Cup semi-finals, Aberdeen taking on Celtic on Saturday, and Rangers looking to continue the defence of the trophy against Motherwell on Sunday. The Aberdeen-Celtic game kicks off at 5:30 on Saturday. Motherwell Rangers is a 3 o'clock kick-off on Sunday. Live in sports, and there's league action as well. And then it's back into Europe. Rangers are in Athens to play Olympiacos in the Europa League next Thursday night. Mackenzie, and then it's Malloy slicing it forward from the edge of his box. Rangers have it again. Rubezic with the header forward, the ref's blown his whistle. Rangers are going to get a free kick right of the centre circle. By the looks of things, I couldn't see what it was because of the pillar right in front of us.
I think it was just a little 20. Push. Yeah, a little push, Liam. I think the referee spotted it. It was a good call from him. But it doesn't take the pressure off the home side. They've had that pressure to withstand for all of this second half, and you've got to say that Rangers getting that equaliser and having chances. It's very concerning for the home fans.
Tavernier wide the right, cross ball into the Aberdeen box. It's a deep one. Devlin flicks it away, but it's come straight to Bayrami. It's an early ball back across, which is cut out by Rubezic on the 6-yard line. Devlin getting it forward to Morris. Aberdeen just cannot get up the pitch as Casemiro slides in and puts it out for a throw-in to Aberdeen on this near side.
Good tackle though, Casemiro on Morris. You can't allow Shane Morris to get ahead of steam up with plenty of space in behind, so fullback doing what he should be doing, and that's just stopping the threat at source.
1-1 here. I don't know how many touches Aberdeen have had in the Rangers box in the second half, but it's not many. Back with Butland on the 6-yard line as he fires it forward with the right foot. High long ball into the Aberdeen half. Dessers gets the touch, but he puts it straight to Mackenzie. Forward into the midfield for Shinnie. Shinnie has it, pushes it forward to McGrath. Aberdeen with some possession here. McGrath's challenged, and out it goes for an Aberdeen throw-in over on the left-hand side, and Bazowan is going to leave it for Mackenzie.
It's a bit better from Aberdeen, isn't it? Although Rangers working, really hard, tirelessly there to close Aberdeen down. They've done that the whole of the second half. The Dons not really getting much time in the ball to build the game up, and really the press from Rangers has been substantial.
And that's a push from Sterling. It's a cheap concession there from the Rangers player on McGrath, and Aberdeen have a free kick about bang level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box on the south stand side touchline on the far side, and a chance for them to load the box as they look for their lead back. They've had a really difficult time since the break. McGrath's penalty miss knocked the stuffing out of them.
No, they have, but this is an opportunity to get the Rangers defence tested. That's for sure. It's about the delivery. James McGrath on it, looking to curl it in towards the Butland and goal, and hoping to pick out a red jersey.
It will be McGrath with the right foot. Going to get this into the danger corridor. He plays it into the 6-yard area. Rubezic heads it back down. Palaversa shot saved by Butland. Ambrose trying to get onto the follow-up. It's now with Rubezic, who's bumped to the ground, gets back to his feet. Aberdeen fans claiming penalty as Rubicic's ball across is cut out and cleared. There's Morris for Aberdeen's a poor touch, allows Lawrence in, but it breaks to Malloy, who ushers it back out wide left for Vincente Bizauen. Up against Sterling, reverses it to McKenzie, looks up to low ball across, might break to Devlin, off the post, chance for Morris, goal for Morris! Aberdeen back in front, and this place has just gone absolutely nuts. Shayden Morris on the follow-up, on the rebound, smashes it past Butland, and Aberdeen do get their lead back here. It is Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1, and what a moment for Shayden Morris.
He's just in the right place, exactly the right place at the right time as Devlin went down the left-hand side. You thought the chance had gone as it just dribbled across the face of the goal, along the goal line really, comes off that far post, and there is Morris. He sees exactly where that ball's going to end up, ends up at his foot, and he rifles it into the back of the net. So Aberdeen been under pressure constantly in this second half, managed to turn it round. Shayden Morris is sub again. Jimmy Tillene just can't make a mistake, can he? He puts on players, they turn games, and Morris on this occasion blasting it home to give Aberdeen that second goal.
Well, they're still checking it. Rangers looking to make a double change here. They're checking for a possible offside. The Rangers are going to bring Jefte and Hadji on. That check is complete. The goal stands by Rami. The Rangers goal scorer comes off. He's replaced by Jefte, and on comes Yanis Hadji for Tom Lawrence. That's the double change. Aberdeen, Willie Miller back in front, 15 minutes to play, and Rangers will be, well, Philippe Clement will be down there scratching his head, because that's come against the run of play. Despite all his team's good performance since the break, they're behind again.
Absolutely. I mean, Aberdeen could have been more in front in the first half, I think we've got to say that, but in the second half, very lucky to survive the onslaught that Rangers put upon them for most of this second half. But they find ways to win games. It's a great habit to get into. They haven't won it yet, that's for sure. I think there's still a lot to get through in this second half, because Rangers have been really dominant. Depends how Rangers react to that. It's a huge blow for them, but hey, listen, you take it.
Well, Yanis Hadji looking for a free kick. He's not getting one. League action for Hadji for the first time in a heck of a long time for Rangers. I think Aberdeen are looking to potentially bring on Leighton Clarkson shortly. But after all the hard work of getting back on terms, Rangers find themselves behind again. And as it stands, Aberdeen will move, along with Celtic, 9 points clear of the Ibrox side. There's still plenty of this game left. The other ones will be finishing very soon. Rangers have it here, and bustling forwards, Nicholas Raskin up to the edge of the Aberdeen box, wide left for Jefte. It's a high ball towards the back end of the penalty area, headed back in by Sterling. Aberdeen flick clear, and they're going to get a free kick for a foul there on Rubezic on the 6-yard line. Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1.
Yeah, I think
it's
there is
Palaversa
contact.
who's been brought down.
There is contact though, isn't there? With Palaversa, two players, barging into him as he wins a header. So there's no doubt that we're just seeing a replay of it. It's through actually Butland's legs and off that back post. But Morris spots it brilliantly. Just watching that replay to rifle it home. To give Aberdeen against the run of play, you've got to say that they've struggled in the second half. They've shown a lot of courage, a lot of good defending, but Rangers have been well on top and very impressive in this second half. So though Aberdeen had that first half, second half belongs to Rangers, but Aberdeen once again have found a way to get them nose back in front. 2-1 the lead at this moment in time, 77 on the clock.
Yellow card for Balogun for a foul on Ambrose in the Rangers half. Clarkson will be on shortly for Aberdeen. Ambrose is rubbing the back of his head. He's going to require some attention here from the medics. It's finished goalless in Dingwall. Ross County 0, Hibs 0. So the full-time whistles beginning to go across the top flight midweek card. Shayden Morris is still down there taking the adulation for that goal that's restored the Dons' lead. I mean, after the game, if they weren't to win this game, Willie, he'd be looking back at all those opportunities in the first half. The penalty, Shinnie hitting the post, the other efforts, Sockler had a chance, McGrath had a chance out with the penalty as well.
The thing is, Liam, you haven't taken them. It's really good playing. We can talk it up, and we can rightly talk it up. And Jimmy Talleen can be very happy with that first half performance, particularly after the first goal. But you're looking to take these opportunities. You're looking to get your nose in front, and then you go into the second half, and that can happen in a game. The manager has his half-time talk, Philippe Clement, and Rangers come out a different beast altogether. Full of energy, full of desire, good football, closing Aberdeen down, not giving Aberdeen any time in the ball, and really should have had maybe a goal or two, perhaps, but they haven't. And then when they've missed the chances, Aberdeen go up the park and get a little bit of good fortune in the goal. But Jimmy Talleen makes a sub, and the super sub again, does the trick. He pops up in the right place to smash it home.
Well, Ambrose eventually is okay to continue. It's finished at Celtic Park. Celtic 2, Dundee 0. And goals from Johnston and Engels win the day for the champions. Aberdeen looking to stay with them at the top. McGrath slides a low free kick into the box. Bizawan has it. Right hand side of the area. Back to Devlin. His ball across is cut out by Hadji. It's by a boot, even though the Aberdeen fans claiming by a hand. It's Morris on the right hand side. Down towards the corner flag, looking to win the throw, and he can't do that. It's going to be a Rangers throw in. The pressure from Jefty, and out for a throw into Rangers on the near side as Leighton Clarkson comes on for Jamie McGrath. Willie?
Yeah, again, I think McGrath has fallen out of it a little bit second half, so I think it's a sensible change. Brings on a fresh and a player that can control the ball, can control the game as well. He can have a major influence in building things up. You've got Palaversa and Shinnie behind them, so you need someone in front that can actually make a difference. Again, the shape doesn't change. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. It's just a freshness, it's fresh legs, it's a younger player on the park. To give Aberdeen a bit more strength going forward, perhaps, and certainly fresh legs.
Rangers struggling to get the ball away here. Shinnie's touch takes it straight to Hadji. Bizawan wins it back. Palaversa losing out to Dessers as well, but wins it back only momentarily, though. It breaks to Jefty on the left. An early ball looking to spring. Yanis Hadji down the right hand side. Hadji's touch takes him out wide, right hand side of the box at the byline. Gets his cross ball in, flicked away by Slobodan Rubejic up into the air. Mitov misses his punch, and it's cleared away off the line, though. He's got a free kick, I think, there. For a foul on the goalkeeper in the ribs. He's holding his ribs there, and it stays Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1.
Yeah, there's a couple of Rangers players there, although I think Mitov's got to do better. I think he's got to be stronger in these occasions. He comes out, he kind of throws his body at it rather than staying strong and maybe using his two fists to punch that ball away. So I think it was a free kick. I think the referee called it right, but he could deal with it much better.
Free kick then to Aberdeen inside their own box. 81.5 on the clock. Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1. Long ball from Mitov. Ambrose trying to flick it on towards Morris. Casemiro there. Up into the air it goes. Drops down round about halfway. Comes off Devlin's head. Rubezic launches it forward this time. Again Ambrose flicks on. Clarkson goes after it. Suter heads it away. Bounces off Hadji's thigh. Breaks to Ambrose. Now it's with Morris. Ambrose wants it back. It's an early ball into the box by Morris, looking for Bizawan, and Tavernier turns it out for a throw-in to Aberdeen, level with the Rangers penalty spot over on that left-hand side. Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1. Hamza Egeman's coming on for Cyril Dessers for Rangers. I have to say, they're behind, and they're taking off a striker and putting another one on. You would think they'd leave as many strikers on the pitch as they could muster, given their need.
You would think so. I don't think the Rangers fans are particularly delighted with that substitution. But the manager's got to make that call, and he has made the call. But from an Aberdeen point of view, they're sitting pretty, 2-1 lead. And Rangers have got to find something special in the dying moments of this game.
Rangers currently bottom 6 when it comes to away form this season in the Premiership. Just that one win at Tannadice. It's Morris over on the left-hand side, challenged by Hadji, and out for an Aberdeen throw-in. And they've had a lot of the ball in the Rangers half since Shayden Morris made it 2-1. And it's McKenzie with a throw into Clarkson. Back to McKenzie, back to Clarkson. His ball forward is cut out by Tavernier. Rangers have it with Raskin, though Aberdeen win it back in the midfield. Palaversa with a little pirouette, loses out though, and it's cleared by Sterling, and he's caught Leighton Clarkson, and the yellow card is out for Dujon Sterling. And Clarkson, you could see, felt that. There were several rolls in pain over there, and he's beating the pitch, having taken the full force of that Sterling challenge. Willie's getting another look at it.
It's one of these challenges that he gets the ball sweetly, but he follows through. You know, it's a two kind of a legs. The left peg comes and takes the ball away, but the right one snapped very quickly behind, and they don't want to see that in the game, and that's why the yellow card came out. But there's no doubt, 100% takes the ball, but just 2 minutes, and that second leg, that right leg coming and whipping through, and you know, can be very dangerous.
He was sent off the last time these two sides met. Neil Warnock was in charge for Aberdeen during that chapter in this club's history. In many ways feels like years and years ago. Free kick Aberdeen, Ante Palaversa is over it. Into the box it comes, he gets a little bit too much on it, and it sails behind for the goal kick. And on 84 minutes it stays Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1. Rangers still have time to try and mount a rescue mission here. I mean, it's got to the point where they might actually, if you offered Philippe Clement a draw at this point, he'd take it.
Oh, without doubt. I mean, I think the way the game has went, you'll be disappointed that the second half didn't bring more fruit for them. But, you know, when you're 2-1 down, 84, 85 minutes, then, hey, you take a draw.
Foul here by Egeman on Shinnie, right in front of the Rangers manager, who's waving an imaginary yellow card. I'm not sure at who, but I think he's going to get one himself here, much to the delight of the home supporters. John Beaton's coming over to issue it, and Philippe Clement wags his finger at the referee in disagreement. It's Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1. We're in the final 5 minutes of the 90.
He did ask for it. You know, he deserves that yellow card. You can't come out, you know, round about the dugout and get involved with the play, and that's what Philippe Clement. Listen, he's under pressure, there's no doubt about that. And when you're under pressure, you do silly things, and that was definitely daft.
Right, so final 5 of the 90 here. All the other games are done. Celtic 2, Dundee 0, Dundee United 1, Motherwell 2, Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 2, Ross County 0, Hibs 0, St Mirren 3, St Johnstone 1. There's a sports scene highlights programme tonight, featuring coverage of all 6 of the midweek card. As Devlin with a throw in for Aberdeen, level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box, down the line for Bazau, and he can't keep it in play. Least prevents the goal kick, and it's out for a Rangers throw in deep inside their own half. It's with Barron, who rifles it high into the air, hits it as far and hard as he could. Palaversa wins the header for Aberdeen, and Shinnie returns it to Morris on this near side. Morris taking on his man down to the byline, little ball back across, comes off Barron and clear. They're claiming handball off Barron. I think he came off his back there, and Rangers get it clear. Bouncing ball in the midfield, beats both Barron and Clarkson. Clarkson okay after that challenge from Sterling, as it goes out for a throw in on this near side.
It's all a bit desperate now for Rangers, isn't it? They've lost that control that they had prior to Aberdeen taking the lead. Aberdeen much higher press as well, working a lot harder. You know, the fresh legs have certainly made the difference. It's allowing the players to get about, to close the ball down and make it really difficult for Rangers to build anything up at all.
Barron sweeping it forward for Rangers down the left. Rubitic wins it and clears down the line and out for a Rangers throw-in. They've defended really well tonight, Aberdeen, even though Rangers were controlling things, got the equalising goal. There've been a lot of last-ditch things, a lot of really good defending.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. You know, when they get into that defensive shape, they know what they're supposed to be doing, but I'm sure Jimmy Tillane would have hoped to have much more control of the game in the second half. But he's made the changes again.
Yeah, Rangers have it. Raskin's early ball into the box is headed behind for a corner by Rubitic. Now that was going behind harmlessly for a goal kick. How important is that going to be?
Well, I'm kind of looking at it and wondering how wide did the goal did it actually go from Rubitic. He had to do something. He was running back to his own goal. He got just a little bit on it, but I thought he maybe got too much on it. It was pretty close to maybe entering the back of the net.
I'm hearing there's going to be 4 minutes added on at the end. Still 2 of the 90 to play. Rangers corner from Tavernier, beaten away by the 2 fists of Dimitar Mitov. Rangers desperately trying to get 5 inside the box with Egeman. Forced out wide left of the area, but he loses it, and it's cleared by Morris, and up the line here it goes and out for a Rangers throw-in. It's a little error like that from Rubičić when he puts it behind for the corner there, gives Aberdeen a little heart flutter. That can offer the opposition a bit of encouragement. This game's not done yet.
I think it does. You know, if you deal with it, you know, calmly, then it shows the confidence, but it wasn't dealt with calmly.
Casemiro on the left-hand side to the left angle of the box for Hadji, pulls the ball back across inside the area, chance here for Rangers perhaps. Tavernier lays it back to Raskin, whose shot goes well wide in the end, and it stays Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1 with 90 seconds of the 90 minutes to play and 4 minutes of stoppages to be added on at the end.
He's put under pressure. I mean, Bazawin does really well to you know, make him pull that trigger very quick, Raskin, and he's kind of a swinging at it. He's all off balance. It catches outside his foot, goes well wide at the end of the day.
Well, it's a huge 5 minutes for Philippe Clement coming up here. 1 minute of regulation time plus the 4 additional. Long ball forward for Aberdeen from the keeper Mitov. Suter wins the header against Ambrose, not once but twice when it came back to him. Egeman tries to get the header on towards Hadji. Mackenzie though picks it up wide in the left for Aberdeen and clears down the left hand side. Suter's calm header to Tavernier. Rangers need calm heads, and it's Tavernier in field to Raskin. Moves it right to left of the centre circle for this left hand side for Casemiro. Leaves it for Jefty. Comes in field and passes it into the centre circle for Balogun, who rolls it to the right for Raskin. Raskin coming forward. Rangers needs an urgent one. It's out on the right with Hadji. In comes the cross, way too close to Mitov, who holds on, and it stays Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1, and that's the 90 minutes just about up.
It's wasted, isn't it? It's a good chance as well for Hadji wide on the right hand side. He's got to at least make it difficult for the Aberdeen defence, and Mitov in goal, and he just rifles it right into the arms of Mitov. No one near him. A very easy take.
There's the 4 minutes confirmed down below us. It's deep in the Rangers half. Not a great clearance there by Casemiro. It was a tired one, and Morris is onto it. Morris down the right flank, down towards the byline. One back by Casemiro, and Balogun finds Barron. Morris for the challenge, wins it back for Aberdeen. It's now with Palaversa. Right angle of the box, runs into Barron, who pinches it back. Barron forward towards Egeman, holds off Rubičić, a good turn. Malloy sliding in, way out of his position. The ref didn't like it. Gavin Malloy's going to be yellow carded here. Graham Shinney protesting on behalf of his teammate. The referee beaten as the yellow card out, and he's flashed it at Gavin Malloy, and it's going to be a Rangers free kick. It was quite last ditch again, wasn't it?
I thought it looked a decent challenge though. I thought he got plenty of the ball. I didn't think it was over physical.
You see it's reckless, Willie.
It's the spread legs again, and he goes with the right and he takes it with the left. So you know, I think the referee's right to book him. It was a little bit reckless, although, you know, when you see a challenge like that, you think it's a good meaty challenge, but it's not nowadays, of course.
Free kick Rangers, just inside the Aberdeen half, left to centre. Jefty drifts it to the edge of the Aberdeen box. Flicked away, Barron picks it up. Pushes it to Tavernier. It's not a great touch by Tavernier, and Ambrose trying to get Bazawin away. Bazawin has it. Knocks it out to the left for Clarkson. Aberdeen coming up the pitch here. 2.5 of the injury time left. Clarkson back to Bazawin, who then goes back into his own half for Malloy. Looked like Aberdeen were away in a counter there. The ref's going to bring it back because Raskin has caught Bazawin on the far side. And the latest yellow card will come for Rangers Belgian midfielder Nicholas Raskin. And there's just over 2 minutes of this to go. Rangers running out of time. Aberdeen are very close to keeping this quite astonishing run going.
Yeah, and you know, Raskin rather silly, you know, giving that free kick, getting himself booked as well, and it's right up Aberdeen Street, isn't it? Just running the clock down, and they're very close to it. And I think over the piece they deserve it. Yeah, they looked under pressure in that second half, and perhaps you felt Rangers were going to, you know, maybe get the second goal, but it was Aberdeen that got that second goal, and it was a little bit of good fortune in the goal, but at the same time, first half plenty of chances, second half not so many, but 2-1 in the lead.
Malloy with a header forward. Ambrose gets onto it. He's done well since coming on. Peter Ambrose, a good focal point. Morris loses out to Balogun though, and now it's Casemiro. Down the left-hand touchline goes Jefty. Jefty skips away from Morris. Rangers have just over a minute left of what was added on by referee Beaton. They're 2-1 down, and it's John Suter right of the centre circle. rolls it to Tavernier. Tavernier infield to Raskin. Raskin looks up, drives it towards the edge of the Aberdeen box, but it's headed away by Shinnie. Now it's going to break Clarkson's way off Palaversa. Looks to fire it through to Ambrose. He's going to test the pace of Balogun, who's reacted really well, the veteran. And he turns it back to his goalkeeper, Butland, who plays it short to Casemiro. We're in the final minute of stoppage time. Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1. Here goes Jefty down the left. Midway inside the Aberdeen half. Infield to Hadji. Hadji squares it to Barron. He's in loads of space here. Palaversa closes it down. Rolls it out to the right-hand side for Sterling. This is Rangers' last opportunity. In comes the cross. Tavernier with a header. And he's put it wide of the left-hand post. And it stays Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1. I think James Tavernier is furious with himself there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really whipped-in cross, isn't it? It's coming at him at a fair pace. And he's actually coming back, but actually makes quite a good fist of it. He's just a little bit unlucky to see it flash by that far post. If he gets a little bit more on it, it ends up in the back of the net.
John Beaton's had a look at his watch. Long ball from Mitov. That's it! It's all over! And this, frankly, eye-rubbing, barely believable Aberdeen run just keeps on going. They've beaten Rangers in front of a full Pittodrie to extend the gap between the sides to 9 points. It's absolutely incredible. And we're not even at the end of the first quarter of this campaign. A game full of drama, as you would expect. Nicky Devlin giving Aberdeen the lead just after the half hour. Nadeem Bayrami equalising for Rangers after Jamie McGrath's penalty was saved before the break. Rangers had control of the game at that point, but Shayden Morris popped up with his best moment in an Aberdeen shirt so far to win the game with 16 to play. And that means Aberdeen go back level at the top of the Premiership on points with the champion Celtic. But a quite incredible 9-point chasm has been chiselled open by Aberdeen on Rangers, whose woes continue. One away win in the league all season. And just what is this going to mean for Philippe Clement? The Rangers players and their manager are going over to the away supporters. I don't think the away fans want them anywhere near them. The berating that's going on, you can tell from the body language of the Rangers supporters. I mean, right now, you've got to say that Rangers, the way things are at the moment, they can forget a title challenge. They might even have to forget top 2 this season, because Aberdeen have opened up some serious daylight. Yemi Telleen has the magic touch. It's Aberdeen Football Club's best ever start to a season. They've eclipsed all those wonderful teams that have performed here in the past. And the man from Sweden has led them there. League Cup semi-final against Celtic to come on Saturday. Rangers players trooping up the tunnel. They too have a last 4 game in that tournament when they play Motherwell on Sunday. But Pittodrie here is absolutely rocking, and little wonder. It's finished. Aberdeen 2, Rangers 1.
Lean has managed